And the things that you look for in your younger 20s to become attracted to a type chat or a Tyrone is not necessarily what's going to set you up very well into your 30s and beyond. If the goal is to have a family, if the goal is to XYZ or whatever that right? Mm-hmm. So like if you could go back and teach yourself something, would you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, what would that thing be?
Boundaries.
Boundaries. Tell me more.
Boundaries are super significant.
They are.
Because there's so much that we know at an early age. And if we keep our boundaries intact, we would never have given Tyrone or Charles a chance.
Got it.
But because we kind of compromise on our boundaries, we get into things that really, like, our time is lost. Like, we waste a lot of energy. Yeah. And it's really, really hard to kind of buy back that time. But we get really good lessons that we can apply later on. But I think that if I could go back, I would say, you know what, keep these boundaries. They're super significant. And, like, they're going to serve me well in the future.
I feel like I think I have to take a step back from, like, keep your boundaries and just say, have boundaries. Because I think for me in my 20s, I literally was just flying with the wind, just figuring it out and not taking a step back and saying, like, you figure out what you want and then set your boundaries accordingly. I think that's one thing that I would teach myself. I would also teach I feel like I had like a very strong super save a hoe like syndrome.
Young women in their early 20s, and maybe they're just not cognizant of it as it's happening. But you're going for the cream of the crop. So you got to understand, when you're going for the cream of the crop or like the best in class, they have options. So when they have options and they're getting DMs or they're getting hit up, right? Like, they will most likely leverage those options, right? But meanwhile, as we talked about before, like in this hypergamous mindset, you got a Charles or a John chilling off in the corner, working on his purpose, working on his why, building himself up to be the best person that he can be, right? Has the most integrity, the most this, the most that, right? And then later on, he's the one that is probably the most attractive to you because now he has status. Now he has this, now he has that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to comment on that real quick and get your guys' thoughts on it, because I feel like it's misdirected. Like if you try to go for, like, in your younger 20s, what is thought to be the best, right? Like, other women think that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I get that. Yeah. So I think we have to go back because we talked about this a lot. So sorry, like, viewing audience. So we talked about this before the camera was on, but I think that a couple of things for me. One is, like, it's a little presumptuous to say that in my 20s I was reaching for the cream of the crop. I don't think I was reaching for anything other than, like, who met my surface level kind of, like,
requirements?
Design. No, I don't even think requirements. I think that's too harsh of a term. I think for me it was like, do you make me do we have fun together? Right. And then it was, okay, fine, if you have a certain level of social status, yes, that may make you even more attractive. But I don't know that was something that was a requirement out front. Like, you have to have this, otherwise I'm not even going to spend my time with you.
Right.
Because to be honest, in your 20s, you're working on potential.
Yeah, at least.
Like, there's no factual.
No one has a
nobody has amassed anything. We're all kind of building.
What can I foresee you to be in your 30s?
That's real.
Yeah. Like, what are you acquiring? Like, what is your potential at this time? And that could shift. You can be in law school and drop out.
Yeah. People can get stuck in potential.
You can be a party promoter,
that, like, kinetic energy, right?
Like,
they have super lofty dreams and goals, and then they get caught up there because they haven't built what it needs to, like, you know what I mean? They haven't managed tasks accordingly to get to that goal. And then those goals lead to those visions and, whatever. So yes, I think in our 20s, everybody's at the potential stage. And then by like late 20s, early 30s, you start to see a separation of the crop, whereby the individuals that are making it into that, like getting into that kinetic energy, you're starting to see fruit. And then those individuals who are stuck in potential, and then either they make a turn down, right, and are getting worse, or they're just stagnant and like, because now you're stagnant and you're here, but I'm hitting that kinetic and my trajectory is still going up. And it's almost like, are you at a level where I can still choose to deal with you? Because it's always a choice, right?
But for men, though, I feel like you guys remember the folks that rode with you through that 20s phase. Yeah. So who were the riders? Like, who were the people who sewed into me?
Well,
but at what point
we're a lot more
become
logical thinkers.
But at what point does that become ridiculous? Right? Like at what point is the ride just too long? Like at some point I can get like motion sickness here. Like I'm sick of being in the car. I'm getting cramps.
Well, dudes don't get motion sickness because we're much more logical thinkers, right? Like we're much more kind of grounded in data and analytics and logic.
So when you say logic, you just mean like basic definition of logic.
That's why men are so
not like logic versus emotion, and logic has some sort of superior mental state versus emotional state.
Well, I think it depends how you handle your emotions.
Escape of male ideology and female ideology, I'm somewhere more balanced, but I still tip on the side of male ideology.
Well, you're a male. That's why you have other people come on with their opinions as well. You give opportunity.
Absolutely. So we have feminists up here, the whole thing. But at the same time, it deserves challenge, right? Like, so I appreciate you saying getting the other side of the coin, but I also don't want, right? So like there was one thing that you said before, and it was like, in order to have empathy, that's a blue pill characteristic. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I think a part of being an intelligent person is to understand not even just like knowledge intelligence, but also having emotional intelligence. They call that EQ as well. And I think that characteristic is irrespective of blue pill learnings or red pill learnings or or this, that, or in between. I think what won't help us, and this is what I see that's happening on YouTube, is that you have two forces, right? With hashtag what's this World War III shit that's happening.
Oh man, we're talking about that later.
But with the dating stuff, you have these two forces, right? You have the red pill type MGTOW knowledge and the far extremes of it and the outliers of it, and then you got the other side of the coin where women are saying, don't date him unless he makes this amount of money, and he doesn't provide me this. The Ashas, the Shiras, and the ones that's in between. So the thing is that if you have these corners of the internet that are promoting and they're not communicating with each other, then what happens?
You polarize
or battle,
right? But it's kind of like it's kind of like a real life example of what's going on in our country. It's polarization. People go to their sides. Nobody's trying to come in the middle. Nobody's trying to understand the other side. And I think your platform allows for people to see both sides. Even if you do come through forcefully, no. Emotions are stupid. You know, I love when you say that.
I think that, like, you know, it's our opinion and shit. And like, I appreciate any opinion that comes up here and let's have a conversation about it. But I do think that some opinions are more true than others. And my opinion is that if you take your ball and you go into your corner and you don't at least try to focus in the solutions, and instead you complain about the challenges, you are a waste of space. You are not helping.
You're a complainer.
You're a complainer.
The tragedy that is the Black man being out of the household and what that does to the thinking of Black men, and then how that's related to relationship between Black women and Black men.
Yes, and I think it's key.
Is it just Black women and Black men? Because now I want to talk about like
because hypertrophy for me is a white woman.
A what? Say it again.
A Caucasian woman. You want to talk about hypergamy from the male perspective? That is 1000% what that means to me. And I've seen it in my grad school. I've seen it in community. I've seen it over and over again, that the status of a man, if he's going for status, that it can't look like us. We're successful. We've reached our prime in terms of our careers, but yet we're just not good enough.
I don't think a man will ever care about y'all status. Like, we don't care if you're Oprah or if we come across you working at McDonald's. What we do care about is y'all attitudes. Let's keep it funky.
So are we saying
we aggressive?
No, wait. So what are we saying about a non-African American woman's attitude that would seemingly make them more attractive than an African American woman?
I think what's really sexy about women is to have a strong degree of femininity. And there's components of that have been lost within our community. And I think a lot of it has to do with the strength that it takes of a single woman to raise a family.
But why isn't strength and femininity the same? Like, why can't someone being strong? Why does someone being strong negate her femininity?
I think you could be a strong in your femininity.
Yeah.
I think a man doesn't want to be dating.
What up, guys? All right, do me a favor, leave a 1 down into the building if you can hear and or see me. We're gonna get this conversation started, and we about to get active. Leave a 1 down into the building. I had some audio issues earlier this week. Let me know if you guys can hear and see me correctly. Put a 1 down into the building. Put a 1 down into the building. All right. All right. I see some ones coming through. What's good, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. We appreciate you. All right. But I think that the title of this video, who must save modern women from themselves? If there's any day that I think that it's appropriate to go in on this topic, it is today. Shout out to everybody that's coming down into the building on this fantastic Sunday. Hopefully you guys got your red cups on and popping. You already know what type of conversation is about to be. It's going to be a bit of a serious one, but I think that it is appropriate. Shout out to Bad Action Sequence. Thank you so much for the $50 donation and support. These are the leaders who want a better version of Black America and are doing something about it. Respect. Shout out, my G. I appreciate the sponsorship. You already know what it is. That's the goal and the purpose. So with that being said, guys, the conversation today is going to hit a lot of nerves, but I think that it needs to happen. Oftentimes when we hit these conversations that invoke emotional responses, for better, for worse, it moves the needle forward. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it is very appropriate to hit these conversations truthfully with no sugarcoating on it. All right. But it comes from a place of wanting to invoke change. All right. So the ladies that are down into the building, please do know, love, and understand that this is a critical thinking, focused, and solution-based channel. Okay. All the dudes that's down in there as well, if you're new here. All right. We focus on throwing ideas up into the air and saying, does this make sense? And if it does, is there any way that we can try to fix and or solution for it? Okay. So know that in coming in, and also know in coming in, all the folks that's coming in here, whether or not you new and old, welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to keep my likes over 60% the entire stream. So right now we got almost 600 in the building. I'm not saying at least almost 300 likes. Do me a favor and go down and hit on the like button. Second thing, shout out to the Patreon gang, the Discord gang. I see you, the notification gang, the channel members. Click on that join button if you want to continue to support your boy. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate it. All right. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate your support. All right. We good. Shout out everybody. I see you guys coming down into the building. I see the comments. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. I'll be only reading out the $20 super chats and above. Why? Because I only have a finite amount of time and I need to be able to cook in that finite amount of time. Okay. So let's get started and let's get active. Last thing before I get started and get active. Also understand, guys, is that this is a respectable zone. Okay. So do not come in here disrespecting. The moderators will promptly remove you from the conversation. All right. Now let's get active. Now I named this stream, Who Must Save Modern Women from Themselves? All right. And I think that's for appropriate reason. All right. Now, when we talk about this, all right, I think personally that we are in a crisis. All right. I really do think that we are in a crisis, and it's a crisis that really hasn't been officially pointed a finger at in the way that I think that it needs to be pointed a finger at. And I think that we are in a crisis that's actually teetering on a disaster. I think that it is, because if you look at the outlying society, the society in itself is doing okay. I mean, we got some splashes of bullshit that happens here and there. But if you look at this community, the Black community in general, there's a lot of instability within that. Okay. And I say that because this community openly celebrates debauchery, openly and purely. All right. Now, I try from this perspective, this platform, to point a finger at debauchery as to say, no, this is toxic. Stay away from this. And I do that from a male's perspective. This is a man's platform, but we do make accommodations for women in this platform as well. But the message is for men. Do know, love, and understand that. You understand me? Okay. And I don't make concessions for that. It just is what it is. I got to be able to speak to my fellas because I can speak to them the best. However, I think that it's key within that to point a finger at the open debauchery that happens and to say, no, this is not good. All right. That's when I do reactions to bad behavior shit, so we can recalibrate what exactly bad behavior looks like, because I know that there's dudes that do not understand what actually is bad behavior, and they've been conditioned to receive bad behavior and think that it is not good relationship values unless they see the bad behavior or the toxicity. That's the craziness about this space. That's the craziness about this sector. All right. So I think that it's important for me to be able to do that. However, okay. So when I ask the question, all right, who will save modern women from themselves? A lot will probably interpret this as absolutely fighting words, and I get it. I absolutely get it. All right, but I'd rather attack a conversation like this sooner rather than later. All right, while it's a warning shot and not a real shot. Okay. So we can try to tackle this equation right now. Let me also say this right now. I can't have a conversation like this unless it is open for debate, unless it's open for dialogue. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box down below in order to be able to call in. All right. Because I think that we need to have a conversation. Ladies, you are super invited to call so we can have a conversation. All right. So here's one of the number one reasons as to why I think, and when I say, how will they save themselves from themselves? One of the things is that the modern woman today, by and large and en masse, have been led to believe that men in general, or the males in general, okay, are oppressive,
All right. Like we're actively oppressing you from being great, that we are toxic, that we are tyrannical, that we are out to dominate you by some form and or fashion for all of eternity. And the only hope for freedom to break free is to be sexually liberated and dig yourself deep within modern day feminism. Okay. Now, let me talk about the feminism thing real quick, because I think that we can't deny that feminism in general has been good for the society. When I say feminism, I'm talking about the first and the second waves. It's been good for society because it produced legislations that were innovative in nature to allow equality of opportunity, to allow free thinking, to allow free pursuit of happiness, to allow free agency within our world. Okay? Having the most amount of access to the education to allow whatever it is that you want within your life, to have the access to that, to have the opportunities to do that, and the highest notion of freedom. The highest notion of freedom. You understand me? Yet and still, although the most free, the modern woman is, without a doubt, the most unhappiest in recorded human history. The modern woman is the most overweight in recorded human history. The modern woman is the less sexually conservative ever in recorded human history. The modern woman takes the most amount of psychoactive drugs ever recorded in human history. The most depressed ever in recorded human history. The single mother rate, the highest in recorded human history. Not to mention the highest rate of ending the life of an unborn child. I'm not going to say the A word because it's going to get me demonetized. Guys, listen, when I tell you this is going to be a touchy subject, I'm not lying. It's going to be a touchy subject. All right? Guys, I'm going to drop the link down in here not too long because I want to have a conversation about this. But we have to be able to talk about the state of it as it exists today so we can have a clear conversation about it. So I ask again, who will save the modern women from themselves? And let me tell you what, it won't be the panderers. It won't be the panderers. You understand me? Hashtag chakras. What was it? Listen, hashtag protect your chakras. All right. Work on your chakras. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't watch enough of my content, okay? You don't watch enough of my content if you don't know what I'm talking about, okay? All right? It's not going to be the chakras. The chakras won't help, all right? The chakras are not going to produce much. You understand me? The chakras won't. Trust me. Trust and believe that. But when I ask the question, who will save modern women from themselves? I am being true to what that is, because right now, when I look down into the space, I know that from over here, I'm holding the dudes over here accountable. All right. I'm holding them as accountable. Learn your financial education, literacy, work on your masculinity. All right. Don't be so subdued by viscosity. Don't do those things. All right. Be accountable for the choices that you are making. That's the message that we push over here. But when I look out into the content space, what do I see? I see a lack of accountability. Not all. but a lot of them. All right. And the ones that don't, I hope to bring them on this channel one day. All right. I see the commercialized self-destruction within the community. I see the accelerated degeneracy across social media, this idea of a sexual liberation movement, the slut walks and all of that stuff. All right. As well as the systemic obliteration of motherhood. And this is Mother's Day, so let's talk about it. Not even just that, but the obliteration of the value of a two-parent household. Yeah. Listen, I did a reaction earlier this week on that Kendra G reaction, and the young lady called in who was 7 months pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant, calling into a dating show. That's absurd. That's absurd. That is absurd. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And the more that we continue to ignore these things and not point a finger at them, as if it is not the reality to some degree, the longer that the bullshit will continue. So I ask, who is saving the modern women? From themselves. But on top of all of that, on top of the pure debauchery, the lack of respect for motherhood on Mother's Day, all right, there is a complete and utter disdain for men in general, okay? For good men, men that approach you well, okay? Men that take you serious, all right? Let me show you guys a quick clip as well, all right? Let me show you guys a quick clip in order to try to make this concrete in your minds. Hold on, let me share screen. I just came across this, and this is this is also what prompted me to do this particular stream.
Pop in Chicago with your boy DJ Nathan, and I gotta let y'all.
Hold on. Can I full screen this? Let's go real quick.
Know how I got my wife.
Your heart is crying out for me.
So we from Chicago. We all that shit stuff on, boy. We on that sweat on our feet. Type shit, boy.
Hold up, you may not have seen it that first time. Let me replay it again just so you can understand the gravity of the situation.
What's poppin' Chicago with your boy DJ Nathan, and I gotta let y'all know how I got my wife.
Your heart is crying out for me.
So we from Chicago. We all that shit stuff on, boy. We on that sweat on our feet. Type shit, boy.
All right, I'm gonna pause that real quick. I played it twice. I wish that I can play the Hood Booger song right now because I feel as though I need something to relieve my spirit of the bullshit. All right, I need something to relieve my spirit of the bullshit, guys. Of all the folks that left, because you became allergic to what you just saw on the screen, you can come back now. Okay, you can absolutely come back now. But that is the state of what the modern man is dealing with today. Absolute and complete debauchery. All right? Absolute and complete debauchery. A complete and total disrespect and disdain for men in general. Now, to paint the picture even more of what we're seeing today in general, in mass, all right? To paint it even more, the ideals and the idea and the ideals of femininity is non-existent. It's absolutely non-existent. Activities such as being a homemaker, all right? Shout out to Cardi B. I don't cook, I don't clean, and all of that bullshit, all right? The idea of being able to cater to a man, to a producer, is non-existent. It's absolutely non-existent. Okay. Yet we hear the unmistakable demands from the modern woman. We hear the unmistakable demands of what they want from us. All right. It's quite unmistakable. They scream it from the mountaintops. They scream it from media that they don't want to date down, that they absolutely refuse on dating down. Okay, which I get because that's hypergamy from an evolutionary perspective. I absolutely get it. Okay, but what's the typical mantra that we hear? All right, he needs to make 6 figures. Okay, meanwhile, from a mathematical perspective, 6 figures is about 10% of the male population. So, in other words, you think that you're a top 10% woman. Okay, that's what that means from a mathematical perspective. Okay. He needs to be faithful. And then you go up and you look up on her Instagram, and she's absolutely dating the gram. She's got her hindquarters showing on the gram, and will continue to shame you because you are not secure enough to deal with a modern woman. It's completely absurd. He needs to be faithful. All right. He needs to be faithful throughout that. Even though that's what she's doing, he needs to be tall, muscular, right? In the gym actively. She hasn't been to the gym since high school. She hasn't been to the gym in high school, but she expects that of you. He's got to be in a foreign, all right? He's got to be in a whip of delicacy, all right? A respectable whip. She drives a Mitsubishi Galant. Shout out to my video earlier this week. Completely absurd, that Dr. Phil video. She's expecting a millionaire. Never talked about what that she can bring to a proverbial table at all, but that's what she expects to be treated like a complete and utter princess. She's over here driving in a Mitsubishi Galant and will disrespect a dude that doesn't have anything at least of a BMW. And I know she's a particular outlier. All right. I know that she's a particular outlier because she's crazy as hell, but it must be talked about. All right. That he needs to expect to take care of the children from previous relationships and not demand any future children out of her. I've done videos on that in the past as well. It's completely absurd stuff, okay? That she must trust me enough not to sign a prenup. When a prenup is for protection for both of us, all right? That she wants me to risk it all the things that I built up within my life. She wants me to risk that all on her. And I wonder why so many dudes are just like, yo, this marriage-ish, I think that I'm good. I think that I'm good because I don't want to lose out on the past decade and a half of building something because of you. And guys, feel free to enter in any other things that you have seen from the modern lady down to the comment box down below so we can have a conversation about it. But essentially what I'm trying to say, guys, is that this is not normal behavior. It's not normal behavior that drives progress in a particular community at all. And on the contrary, I think that it actually stifles progress. I think it slows down progress. Absolutely. And in fact, I think it shows how unhinged a culture or a society can be when all of these crazy ass images are just pushed down and we just act like this shit is normal and it goes unchecked, which is why I think that this portion of YouTube is so goddamn important. It's so goddamn important because it shows an opposition to the bullshit that we've been fed for decades. It shows an absolute opposition. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. All right? But if you listen, again, to the modern women today and some of the modern men, all right, who take a look at all of the shit that is purported to us as if it is natural or normal, and the things that they come out of their mouths and the delusion that they speak and what they expect out of men today, if we do not put a finger at this right now, have a discussion about it on Mother's Day, I get concerned about the long-term viability of the community. I'll be honest with you. Marriage rate is falling significantly. It has fallen significantly. All right. Divorce rate is still there, still doing what it needs to do. So we got to be able to talk about this. All right. I mean, take it from my example. All right. I am a 35-year-old man. I ain't got no debt. I ain't got no mortgage. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no baby mama drama. Right. I live good. I live free. All right. But I take a look out into the modern and look at the modern women today. And even myself, I'm like, it's like walking in a minefield because they want you to play by their rules. They want you to play by their rules. It's been their media. It's been their normal for decades. Dealing with decades of hostility. Shout out to Shahrazad Ali, Sister Shahrazad Ali. Decades of hostility and decades of panderers. Absolutely. Pandering to sell them a product. Shout out. Hashtag root chakras, right? Man, we need to get our root chakras in place. We got to get our root chakras in place so we can fend off the beautiful women that are over there. And so we don't want to go in their viscous innards. We got to fend off the root chakra so we can be less defiant in the things that we want from them, right? So that later on we can do whatever we need to do to serve them. All right? Your root chakras, all right? That's how we execute. You get down in your root chakras. What? Are you serious? Are you serious? That's oh, my bad, my G. That's been the problem the whole time. Hold on. Let me turn down the temperature of my root chakras. Oh, yeah, of course. All the modern women are like, yeah, root chakras. Go ahead. Of course, it's the root chakras. Oh, that's why Tyrone keeps blowing my back completely out and not caring about me. It's his root chakras. Your root chakras, please. Turn them down, Pookie. Turn down the root chakras. And y'all go for this. For real? For real? This is real? I can't believe. Listen, if you don't get the joke, you should be ashamed of yourself because you're not caught up on my content. Okay? You're not caught up on my look at yesterday's video. Your root chakras is a reason that I put that in there. Okay? There's an absolute reason. Tyrone, stop it. Your root chakras are on fire. Relax. All right? But anyway. But when you listen to the modern lady in general, in mass today, what you find out really and truly is many of them are completely out of touch of reality and the behaviors necessary, the attitudes necessary for a functional society, for to get the attraction and the intention of a man. A lot of them are completely, they don't get it. They just don't get it. You know, and at the end of the day, I think men and women need to absolutely team out. And I think it's out of the sake of pure and utter necessity. I think it's out of the sake of pure and utter necessity. But here's the shit, is that women need men more than men need women. And let me repeat, and I would love any of y'all to call in and argue against this. Women need men more than men need women. This is becoming less true in a first world society. It becomes less true. And I'll be the first to admit that. In a third world country, third world society, oh yeah, you need men to survive. You need men to absolutely survive. In a first world country, it kind of diminishes the importance of what men give. But trust and believe that you need men to do well in life. Why do I say this? Well, the studies actually show this. I'm not going to get into the studies right now, but let me take it from not an anecdotal perspective, but let me take it from my perspective, okay? Men don't need women to be masculine. Let me repeat. Men do not need women to be masculine. However, women need men to be feminine. Women need men to be feminine. It's required. Women cannot truly live within their femininity unless they have a masculine man to nest within. That's absolutely necessary. So when we take a look at the prescription pill rate, and we also take a look at the increase in the rate of the modern woman who is less likely to respect the importance of a masculine man, well, correlation doesn't equal causation. However, I think that it tells a particular story. So let me repeat that again. Masculine men don't need women to be masculine. Women need men to be feminine. And the majority of women will be way more happy being feminine in their lives, not masculine. From an evolutionary perspective, the chemicals in your brain don't fire to be masculine. Yeah, you can pretend to be masculine, but the chemicals in your brain, they don't want to be masculine. They don't want to be competitive. They don't want to be combative, right? They don't want to do any of those things. They don't want. They want to support. They want to nurture. They want to look to someone to be a leader. But the majority of y'all are looking for partners. The majority of y'all are not looking for leaders. And that's a problem. Happy Mother's Day. But we got to be able to talk about it. Hold on. I'm thirsty. Look at my pinky. I'm bougie. You guys see me? I got a polo shirt on today. Yeah. I got a polo shirt on today. I got a haircut. And I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Pulling on a collar. All right? Show me some respect. Guys, I don't know what the likes are doing right now. The likes should be. So we got 1,300 in the building right now. The likes. All right. Let's get the likes to at least 1,800. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate that. Hold on. I'm going to put a link down in the description box because, hold on. Let me put the link down in a minute because I want to have a conversation. I want the ladies to call in. Hold up. Where the link at? Ladies, feminists, modern women, I want you to call in. I want you to have a conversation. All right? And I want to talk about it, and I want to get active. Prepare yourselves. The link that's down up in there, get yourselves ready. It's down up in there so you can prepare yourself. But I want to be able to have a conversation because at the end of the day, I want to seek to try to have a common ground. I want to seek to have an understanding. I want to seek to make sure that all of the if you think that I am completely off and I'm calling things out that make complete and utter nonsense, then absolutely call in. Now, I will also say this. I am not going to put you on unless you put your camera on. I am not going to put you on unless you put your camera on. I don't want no trolls. I don't want no bullshit. I will not put you on unless I see that your camera is on. If you want to stick by your words, put your face on it. If you want to stick by your words, absolutely put your face on it. Okay? Because today, the modern lady has allowed Cosmo, which if you read the titles and the headlines and all of that shit, is a form of psychological crack, has allowed the social media environment to warp and twist absolutely their utter perception of reality, to the point of liberation is seen as altering your body. Altering your body. Looking towards the Kim K's as role models and the things that her and her whole family has done to imitate what perfect actually is. And listen, at the end of the day, I feel for y'all because the images are just thrown at y'all at an incredible rate. It's thrown at you at an incredible rate, and I get it. But then I ask the question, for those of us that don't have the discernment to determine how detrimental that media is, who will save you from yourself? Okay? All of this culture that's pushed across 24/7 to the WAP splashing across the dance floor, pushed 24/7 through the airwaves to Grammy award performances, to Megan going with Maxine Walters right after WAP came out, okaying free speech irrespective of what it does to a particular community, to hear the nonsense, to watching Cardi turn off the WAP in front of the children. Oh, okay, yeah, it's probably because it's detrimental. Cardi, stop appropriating the culture for some bullshit. Would appreciate it. Okay. This self-destructive mindset has to be able to be talked about in this current economy. You understand me? All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it a link that's down up in here. I want INDP, all of y'all, all of the modern ladies, the femmies. Let's have a clear, consistent, and dope conversation about it. I put the link that's down up in there. Would wholeheartedly appreciate it. Now, I will say I'm opening up to women. All right, because I want to hear from women. I want to hear from women that participate and do not agree with me. I think it's very important to be able to have this conversation. Okay. But I think that it's important because outside of all of this, when you push the idea of a patriarchy, right, and that it being tyrannical in nature rather than a completely structured society that produced the absolute best outcomes for both men and women, when you do that on a subconscious level, I think that women begin to discredit men. I think that they begin to discredit men. The men that is necessary for them to rely and be safe within their feminine nature. But that discredit goes to you being superior to them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And listen, at the end of the day, I think that the best way to implement, to substantiate safety, security, and comfort is to let men lead. But if you continue to relegate men to men are trash, if you continue to relegate to men are stupid, and if you take that toxicity and you make it complete within who you are as a person, you're doing nothing to help even yourself be happy into the future. Because if you respected us, then you would respect that we fight the fires, that we build the skyscrapers, that we plunge the toilets, okay? That we fight the crime by and large, by mass, okay? That we operate the plants, the sanitation plants, okay? That we fix the outlets, right? From an electricity perspective, that we take out the garbage, right? From a sanitation perspective. Okay. HVAC repairmen, that we operate the trucks that go all over across this country. All right. For these blue collar workers, that so many of the modern woman does not respect and does not hold in high honor, that have continued to build this society and maintain the society. It's absolutely absurd and it's absolutely abhorrent. Okay. So we must be able to talk about it, because until there is a rebalancing, of what this is, then you will continue to be the least married and the least happy. So I ask again, modern women, who will save you from yourself? All right. Guys, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to come back in a quick second. I'm going to read off all of the super chats, and then we are going to have a conversation. Ladies, I want you to be able to call in. When you call in, let's have a conversation. If you are not cammed up, then you are not getting in. You understand me? All right. Let me hold up. Here we go.
How do people do this? How do people do this?
All right, guys, we back up in here real quick. I gotta go run to the restroom real quick. Wholeheartedly appreciate you guys staying with me, showing love, support, and respect. What? I see a whole bunch of super chats that come in. I'm gonna read off some of these super chats real quick, guys. Wholeheartedly appreciate all of your support. All right. Shout out to all the love that came through in the building. Hold on, let me start to read some of these. All right. I can't go back and put the majority of these back on the screen, but I'll go back and read through. Shout out to Annalisa Paul. I absolutely love your channel. Sending love from Brooklyn. Shout out to Annalisa. I appreciate the $50 super chat. Hold on. Let me put this link that's down up in the building. Would appreciate those that want to come in and have a conversation. This is the Smoke Show. Absolutely. Let's have a conversation. All right. Shout out to Ryan. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Keep up the great work. MTR. Long time no talk. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate the $20 support. Shout out to Beautiful Lives. Great topic. Simple answer. Keep knocking them down, MTR. Respect that you are only talking to the ladies. If you're willing to take a call from a guy and get the answer, I'll call in. El Guapo. Shout out to Beautiful Lies. I appreciate the love, the support, and the respect. All right. But we got to be able to handle this conversation the best way that we know how. And that's throwing these conversations up into the air to be able to talk about them. Shout out to Black Heights. Black Heights in the building. Another content creator. Shout out my G. MTR, O'Shea, and KS are all leaders, and they are building a strong community and repositioning the image of Black men worldwide. Yeah, they can't come over here and claim that men are trash shit. They can't come over here and do that. They can't go to O'Shea's channel and do that. They can't go to KS's channel and do that. They absolutely can't go over there and do that. Listen, long time ago, I used to be all down in my comment section and comment after comment from the common angry and upset and bitter modern woman. Dusty, broke, Dusty, this, that, and the third, until all the receipts happen, right? What type of receipts? The financial education videos, the mortgage video, me getting over 100,000 subscribers. They can't do this shit. They can't continue to shame based off of bullshit because we're all not like that, right? And what they come with, Black women are the most educated, da-da-da-da-da. Listen, if you look at it, you know what? I'll bring up the article right now. Hold on. Link down up in there. Ladies, call in. I want to be able to hear from y'all if you disagree with me. Let me bring up the article right now because they want to talk about all of this like most educated stuff. We already debunked on this channel the most educated, but yes, they are the most enrolled. But let's take it from a financial perspective. This article is from blackdemographics.com. Okay. Title of it: Single Black Millennials. Yes, women are more educated, but there are just as many single Black men making $50,000 a year and higher. Okay. Judging who is available just strictly based off of enrolled in college is ridiculous. I just went over all of the blue collar workers that deserve the love and the support and the respect, right? And got the masculinity to boot. Shit. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it funky. Now I went the white collar route. So you want to give more gusto to me as opposed to all these other dudes out there? I don't think that you should. I don't think that it's fair. Now, I don't got particular time to actually go into the individual numbers, but I wanted to be able to bring that up because I feel as though I was going to get someone that's going to come in here and try to argue this shit. They're not keeping up. Well, from an income perspective, we are. Let me get this off of the screen. Anything else is complete and utter bullshit. It's complete and utter fabrication, completely and utterly made up. Let me get back to the super chats and we're going to open up the phone lines. Shout out to, my bad, I'm having trouble with this name, brother. Sorrow M. Tojad Ezekiel. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat. Thank you so much, my brother. Just paying my dues. I'm 23, but remember how in high school the girls were already saying that they were independent women. And they couldn't even legally drive. All right. All this talk of independence has only created a financial dependence on industries, pandering to them. Yeah. And you see so much of the pandering coming out in the form of chakras, right? your root chakras, right? In order to convince people to get them to donate to you. It's completely absurd. It's completely and utterly absurd. Completely and utterly absurd. So we must be able to talk about that. All right. Let me go back down to the bottom of the comments. All right. But thank you so much, bro, for the $100 sponsorship. Last super chat from Always Just John. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Mad love from RVA. Always Just John. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Wholeheartedly appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the support on the channel. Okay. All right, guys, let me see who has something to say. Ladies, you have the opportunity to be able to call in. I actually don't see any ladies that are down into the chat right now. Listen, this is, if you guys don't agree with me, then call in. Shout out to the first person to the stage. What up, Ahmed? How are you?
Oh wow. Hi. I'm good. I love your content. I just wanted to provide an answer for you. you had mentioned who will save Black women or who will save women in general from themselves. And in my opinion, the best way to do it is, number one, when engaging in the conversation, explain that we have already held the men accountable. We are already working with the men, because I think oftentimes people can feel like, well, nothing's happening over there. So I think first it's important to explain that something is happening over there. And I think the second thing is, I think oftentimes when people hear like any of the isms, they'll think of like, oh,
hey, Ahmed, do you disagree with anything that I was saying?
Not really, to be honest. I just wanted to, I kind of got on early just to sort of talk about my perspective on how to sort of fix.
All right, well, listen, this is I disagree. I want people to call up here that disagree completely with the things that I am saying. I appreciate your words and your thoughts, though.
Thank you, no problem. Have a good day.
All right, appreciate you, brother. This is time for the smoke show. What's good? I want you guys to be able to call in and let's have a conversation if you do not agree with me, or something that I said today was inherently wrong, okay? Because you can continue to go out on all of these gossip channels or all of these hypergamy, level up type channels and look at all of the bullshit that they are telling you to do in order to increase your value. You can continue to do all of that shit. Or you can listen to the other side of the coin from the gentlemen, right? From the men that are telling you what we actually want. From the men that are telling you what we actually want. Or you can do that because we're right here and we're saying it right now. Okay. Feel free to be able to call in. I see no one that's down up in there. You have the opportunity to be able to call in. Derek, what do you disagree with, brother?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
He came in and then he left. Not gonna lie, when I saw Derek's name, I was like, uh-oh, we got D-Jax up in here. We got D-Jax up in here.
My bad.
What up, bro?
Yo, my bad. So love your content, and I'm actually a fan and support of what you do and say, but I do have an opposing view, and it's
fantastic. All right, let's get it popping.
So Black women claim they're independent, they got their businesses, they got their like education, and they're doing it like on their own. And the women that I see around me actually they're doing quite well, 6 figures. So my comment is, what if Black women don't need Black men and they don't need saving from us? They just want to go and be wild and do their own thing. Who are we to stop them?
So we're not, and that's what. So I agree with you. Anybody can do whatever they want, right? And that's the power, and that's the empowerment of feminism, of the women's liberation movement. I think anybody can do whatever it is that they want, and I don't disagree with you. Let folks do whatever they want, but if you were to ask the majority, they want a man. And what my posit is that they are not want a man type shit in mass, in general. But I agree with you. And here's the thing. But like you, Derek, but listen, like you, Derek, I'd surround myself around women that you surround yourself with. I agree with you. But from an aggregate perspective, right? Yeah. From an aggregate perspective, from a community perspective, right? Because like even myself, brother, I had to get outside of my own microcosm of the people that I surround myself with to understand what other brothers in general, in mass, are going through.
Okay. I got to get out of the DMV, so that's where I am. Like, DC.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was in the DMV. I might have to move over there, brother. I already know. It's
a good time. Down there. It's a good time. Otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's just the thing. I mean, and for the women that do want a man, it seems like they just want a man just for the sake of just saying like they have a man almost. And I think this is kind of like women are following the footsteps of men from back in the day. How men would have a trophy wife. It seems like women just want a trophy husband, or they just want a ring in the wedding and to say that they have a man, but they don't actually want a man who can lead or who can provide. They want to do all that because they want the power. They love the power. They fucking love power.
Listen, bro, you came in here disagreeing, and then you left out of here completely saying the stuff that I say on the channel.
Damn it.
So,
all right, well.
Yeah, God damn it, Derek. No,
Yeah,
but listen, but all jokes aside, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, and listen, you know, because I go through the discussions throughout you know, about the power thing, and I think like a lot of that power stuff has been indoctrinated by media, right? So like when you tell a woman, are you looking for a partner or if you're looking for a leader, you start to see a short circuit, right? Because what are you actually looking for, right? Like because I get confused with the way that they purport themselves in this independent, right? I can get it out the mud, I can do it all on myself type of a culture. I get confused, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you are mired by the past of being drugged through the mud by a dude that wasn't on top of who he was from a purpose perspective, he wasn't on top of who he was from a masculinity perspective, I can understand how the hurt and the pain, you could take that into the future and then judge future men based off of the reality that you've experienced in the past. So I absolutely get it. But Derek, thank you so much for coming through, brother. I appreciate you getting kicked off and started for us, man.
All right, man. Have a good night.
I got to go back down to the DMV. I already know what you handling down there, brother.
Oh, man, that's good. All right,
Yeah.
see you.
All right, brother. Peace. Next to the stage. What up, Liz? How are you? What do you disagree with?
I don't know if I disagree.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very nervous.
Hey, Liz, listen, it's okay. Take a deep breath.
Uh-oh. Somebody in the live. So, yeah, I'll tell you about it after. Sorry. I just wanted to add my thoughts because I maybe have a different experience than a lot of
Hey, Liz.
people. But,
hey, Liz, just real quick. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was father back there. I was getting ready to cut your ass off real quick. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that was okay. I was just gotta make sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no digital cases. Anyway, go ahead, 29-year-old Liz. I had to make sure. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know. He was. Go ahead.
That was my husband, and
okay.
We met when we were 18 years old, and I thought I was a feminist, and I've always been very conservative, actually, but because feminism kind of says like, oh, well, if you're pro-woman, then you're a feminist, and if you're against women, then you're not a feminist. So I insisted to him that I was a feminist, and he laughed in my face, and he said, you're not a feminist. And at first I was very confused, but as my college experience went on, we met in university. I took a course that was required. It was a feminism course. And I realized that I didn't hold any of those values, actually. And but it took him to point out to me that I wasn't even a feminist, actually. The culture just kind of like, you just kind of, you just kind of think that you are one because everybody says you're bad if you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you go to more left-leaning universities, it's it's common to push these ideals, and I will even say as myself as a young 20-year-old person, right, like there's a lot of things that I would hear that were not inherently incorrect to me at that time, but I hear them now, and I'm just like, man, these things are exceptionally damaging to the dynamics between the modern man and the modern woman. And again, right, like the ideas of the first wave and the second wave, I'm completely and utterly on board for. I believe completely for opportunity of equal outcome. I believe completely. But the idea that men are actively suppressing women as if there's an active patriarchy. And in fact, I think, if anything, within the Black community specifically, there is an active matriarchy, more than a patriarchy, by any stretch means of the imagination, right? Like when I see all of these things happening, and then I see still modern women continue to push the victimhood of living in a patriarchy, right? continuing to push the idea of toxic masculinity, to continue to push the idea that men are trash, I say to myself that they're getting a hold of Liz's. They're getting a hold of Liz's. They're getting a hold of women that want to be feminine underneath the leadership of a masculine dude who just came in there with the authority of Thor and said, what is it? What is going on in here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, actually, it's
I
very
got
interesting.
nervous.
It's interesting you point that out, because actually I'm Mexican, and feminism is pretty strong in Mexican culture as well. And my family, like especially my mother, was very feminist, and when I met my husband, they all told me that he was going to cheat on me, that he was going to be mean to me, that I couldn't, I guess you would say, subordinate myself to him because it would be dangerous for me. And they really fear-mongered me, and I was very lonely when I met him. I was quite the nerd, still am, really. And
let me ask you a question. So what do you think was the tipping point that changed you from identifying as a feminist to saying, I'm not about that life? Like, what was the tipping point?
It was a very strange circumstance. I loved him very much from the start. Like, I was head over heels, but we had to spend summers apart because he lived in a different state than me, and we were only together during our university courses for the first 2 years. We met when we were 18, and that second summer, I was in Mexico with my mother, and we were both drinking on the beach. And this man who was probably 30 started coming on to me. And my mother insisted that I flirt with him, even though I was in a relationship with my husband. And I told her that I didn't want to flirt with him. And she said, what's the harm? And I said, well, you know, my husband, who at the time was my boyfriend. And she said, he's not here. He's, 3,000 miles away. And I said, that I loved him and that I didn't want to do that. And she pushed me into it. She was insisting to me that it was okay for me to flirt and to have fun. And my husband had been telling me at this point for some time that the advice of my sisters and girlfriends and mother wasn't very good. And I'd been reluctant to accept that. He was telling me that their advice was bad, and they were telling me that he was being controlling.
And let me ask you a question. Was your mother at the time, was she married? Yeah, I mean,
no.
Okay.
My mother was divorced.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I see that a lot with older ladies pushing or projecting their own toxicity onto their daughters because of their failed relationships. And there's no disrespect to your mother. I mean, I'm not saying that from a disrespectful perspective. What I'm saying that is from, you guys are hit from so much bullshit information, right? Like even from those that are in your own blood, right? To break y'all up. And it's just, it's ridiculous amount of bullshit that so when I ask the question, who's going to save the modern women from themselves when you have so much information that purports all of this bullshit? You got people from a blood perspective purporting complete and utter bullshit to break you up out of your relationships. So what do you say to that? Who do you think who should be responsible of saving the modern woman from your perspective?
My husband saved me.
This is why I need my soundboard back, because I would click the round of applause emoji right here.
He really did.
So Liz, so in other words, you look towards the leadership of a stable, of a stoic, and a clearly purpose-driven man to bring you to the promised land and back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be, I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say it wouldn't be so dramatic maybe, but he did save me from myself. If he had I fell head over heels over him, and if he had broken up with me, I would have been wrecked, you know, and I was just so dedicated to him, and he said it to me before that he saw that in me, that I was so in love, and that he appreciated it, and I didn't think about that at the time. I was just so in love with him, and I mean, I don't know how to explain. I just thought the world of him, and he, I guess.
Well, here's the thing, Liz. I
He
want to
didn't
focus on this. I want to focus on the idea of what you just said is that your husband saved you. Your husband
Yeah, so
saved
that's
you.
what I was trying.
Yeah.
He saved me from, because he took me seriously, I guess, because I loved him so much, and he took me seriously, and he said to me that, you know, it wasn't just like, he didn't have this idea in his head that it was just puppy love. Like, we both felt that it was going to last, I guess, and that's what saved me, I guess, because I was worried that at first, like, all my friends were telling me that he was going to dump me or cheat on me or something like that, and he never did. And because he didn't, then we just stayed together forever, and like, I mean, I'm 29 now, and we're married, and we have 2 children.
Okay.
And if he hadn't done that, I would have totally gone feminist. I would have kept in that thing. I would have kept in that line, you know, like, if he,
you would have kept
like,
down
that's what
like
I
down
get
that
at.
path. Got it.
Yeah, like, so if he had.
Well, Liz, listen. I think that the question of who is going to save the modern woman, I think that you giving the response that of who saved you is absolutely fantastic. I appreciate your time here today. You know what I'm saying? You're feel free to call back anytime. Appreciate you. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Take care. Next to the stage. Hey, Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing exceptionally well. Now tell me, Ashley, what do you disagree with?
I'm not sure if I disagree with you yet, but I have a question I would like to clarify.
I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to answer that question. Okay. But
okay. I'm not a feminazi, but I just want to know, when you say that men don't need women to be masculine, but women need men to be feminine, I need some more clarity.
Absolutely. Okay. What you need me to clarify about that? Let's talk about
it. The fact that women need men to be feminine, because I don't think I agree with it.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I think that the history of the single Black mother in the Black community shows where typically, the traits and the characteristics go. When the single Black mother has to provide and protect the family, what typically would you say is the traits that they show, more feminine or more masculine, to lead that family forward?
Definitely more masculine. I think it's kind of hard to be feminine and lead.
So that's my point.
Okay. Then I don't disagree then. So
okay. Okay. Well, that was an easy question. So you don't disagree with. So let me ask you a question. So who will save the modern woman today from your perspective? Who do you think?
I don't have an answer to that. I'm legally, by law, I'm a single woman. I have a male friend who we entertain each other. I think I'm a little bit more masculine than he is, so I don't think that he's saving me. But I would hope that it's the man.
So I want to ask you a question.
So
can I ask you a question? So why do you think that you have more masculine characteristics in the dude that you are dating?
Because I'm more assertive than him in a lot of situations.
Can you give me an example of a situation? So how long have you been dating him?
Over a year.
Okay. If he doesn't have masculine characteristics that you're probably looking for, why are you still dating him?
I don't know. I enjoy his company. Other than that, I enjoy his company.
Okay. Do you think you having more masculine characteristics is speaks more about you or him?
Me. We were both raised by single women, single mothers. I have had a lot of influence of male figures in my life, but I grew up mainly around boys. So if I was not going to be bored, I would have to be around boys. So I don't mind being more assertive, and I'm comfortable around men and things like that. Not that I like men more than I like women, or I have more guy friends than girlfriends. That's not the case. I'm in a sorority and everything like that. So I'm very feminine, but in a lot of cases, I am masculine.
Are you a Delta?
No.
Okay. that's the stereotypical masculine.
Anyway,
so okay. Well, I think like at the end of the day, we're all products of our environment. We're all products of what it is that we have experienced. And the thing is that if you think that you are more masculine and feminine, then my next question is, who is or what are you doing to try to save yourself? Right? Because if you're currently in a relationship with a dude that you don't view as masculine, right? Like that is rule broke number one, right? So like the title of the stream is who will save the modern women from themselves? So do you have a plan to save yourself from what you bring?
I never thought about that.
But I think it's a fantastic question. But because I also think it is, because listen, like at the end of the day, if a dude is not going to provide you certain things to maintain within your femininity, right? If he's not able to do those things, then that's a different question all of its own. However, you posited to me that you lead with masculine attributes, right? So the question is that if you want a dude to be able to take you to the promised land and back, and you not have to be a leader of some sort, which I would assume and I would guess you don't want to be a leader, or do you want to be a partner?
It's tiresome to be a leader.
All right. So do you want to be a partner, or do you want someone to lead you?
I want to be led. I choose not to have my biological father in my life. But I do have, like I said, male figures. And I love going to them and asking them for advice. I would never, and I don't ever ask my girlfriends for advice with men. I ask men. Like I'm that type of person. I want to be led.
So then I guess the question is, if you want to be led, then what are the things that you are actively doing in your life to put yourself in a ability to be led position? Like, have you sought out therapy? Have you have you worked on and forgave your father? I mean, have you done these kind of key things in order to relinquish the burden of leadership?
Oh yes, for sure. I've been through therapy. I'm not saying that I couldn't go back, but I have forgiven myself and my biological father for a lot of things. So I don't have daddy issues.
Okay. But you choose to continue to keep him out?
Yes. I mean, there's narcissistic people that should be kept out of distance, whether they're your father or not.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? As long as you are doing the things to try to work in on yourself. But here's the thing, as I asked, as I go through the content on my channel and I talk to the dudes that are on this channel, and I ask them to take accountability for the choices that they are making in life. What I think is that modern women should teach modern women the things that the modern man wants out of them. So I think as though it needs to come from women. I think the instruction needs to come from women. Any thoughts on that?
I agree. No, I agree. I can't think of the woman's name right now, but I have a book. And then I have watched Miss Ali's, some of her videos. Actually, before I even heard of you, I was watching some of her videos.
The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Is that the book?
Yes, that is the book.
Okay. Yeah, she's actually the paternal grandmother on the channel. She hasn't accepted that title, but I have hereby ordained her.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Ashley, you know what I'm saying? Send your boo boo kachu the content on this channel, and hopefully it will aid him. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are out masculining that young man, you say it's a reflection on yourself, but I always think that young men, especially is he in his 20s?
Yes.
Yeah, we in our 20s we always got work in order to be able to do, because it's a straight up learning process. So
right, him in particular, like other areas, he's very masculine, but just one area in particular, I'm far more assertive than he is.
Is it about deciding things about the relationship?
Yes, and I don't know if it's because I like to just talk.
No.
Okay.
Are you dating him or are you in a situationship?
A situation. We were dating.
That's why. Yeah. I don't mean to laugh with you, but
no,
yeah.
It's fine.
No, we yeah. No. It's on purpose. It's on purpose. Yeah. So what dudes will do is that we will purposely leave shit ambiguous as shit. And you might think that it's a less masculine characteristics, but he's doing it out of purpose.
I will reevaluate. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, Ashley, I wholeheartedly appreciate you calling in. Let me get to the next caller. We got some more ladies that's down into the building because I want to continue on asking the question. All right. But I wholeheartedly appreciate you calling in. You can call in anytime, Ashley. I appreciate you. All right.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. So I'm going to ask the question again. Who should save modern women? Who should save them from themselves? Do you expect the men that you label as trash to come and save you? The men that you label as corny, as nerdy, in favor of the glamorized Pookie in the Ray Ray, to come and save you? Okay. Do you want the government to come and save you? Who can come and save you from yourselves? Let's continue to be able to talk about it. Wife, how are you?
Wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing exceptionally well. All right, let's have a conversation. I gotta know up front, what do you not agree with?
I don't agree with the way that we're trying to create balance, but still having boundaries on the balance. For example, I'm talking about what I'm talking about is like femininity and masculinity. I feel like those are boxes that we put ourselves in that actually keep us from being able to appreciate others' differences for what they are, because we were born a male or a female. Like when we was our mother's stomach, we were already a male or a female already. So I feel like the people before us, with making the idea of masculine and feminine, it was meant to help us understand what we're supposed to do. How we're supposed to help each other. But I believe.
Wait. So you think masculine and feminine is a construct that was created?
Absolutely.
By man? No, it's created by evolution.
Absolutely.
No. It's created by evolution. We can't dictate masculine, but we can't dictate masculine and feminine traits. It is by the composition of the chemicals that fire in our brain. You think inherently differently than I do. And inherently I can lift more, but inherently I can lift more weight than you do because of the chemicals that fire in my brain. This is evolution.
I'm not negating
this no, but it has to be. But you can't negate the science. You can't negate math, and you can't negate science. You can't negate the studies. You can't negate the research. You can't say that everything is just completely and utterly on a spectrum because you feel that it is. That's not true. The science will prove that. The data will prove that. The statistics will absolutely prove that. Masculinity and femininity, by and large, is determined by a bunch of different traits. Okay. So my assumption is by your argument is that you will say that you can be a feminine, is that you can be feminine in nature, but also be combative with a man. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
So, all right,
I was actually trying to say that.
Okay.
What I was trying to say was that me being a woman was decided before I was actually before I made my first breath. You being a man was decided before you took your first breath. They can tell you, a mother, what the sex of the child is. But what I'm saying is, as people of, like, we're older than some people in the earth, so we're supposed to help them understand who they are. So I think what I'm saying is that the construct is people have put together what it means to be feminine, what it means to be masculine. Not saying that science is not part of it, but what I'm saying is sometimes we put too much emphasis on what a masculine trait is. Feminine trait is that we miss out on the message of getting to know the person. And then if you miss out on that, then of course that's going to cause issues in the relationship.
I'm absolutely losing
because you said you believe that
argument.
men deserve love, support, and respect.
Go ahead. It's a little bit of can you get on Wi-Fi or something like that? Your connection is not as tight as what it should be. So I'm losing out on the argument.
I actually am on Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I'm losing out on the argument. Can you restate your position one more time in like 1 or 2 sentences?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was created as a woman. I was born a woman. So I can use some assistance with being a woman, but no, they can really tell me what discern that as I live. So to put me in a box to say, well, you got to be this and you got to be that, that doesn't really help me be who I am as a human. Before I was like, being a human is just as important as being a male or female. And
okay, so hold on. So what do you don't identify with being a feminine woman?
Like, honestly, when you question who modern women from themselves.
No. Wait, hold on. You're gonna go somewhere else. Wait, hold up. You're gonna go somewhere else. What do you not identify with being a feminine woman? If you're so about being an individual, what components of being a feminine woman do you not agree with?
I don't think femininity should be overemphasized past who I am as a person.
Okay. So listen. So I think that this is a conversation of the cart before the horse. So are you a individual before femininity? I think is essentially what it is that you're trying to say. And I'm saying that the chemicals that fire within your brain, the ones that made you a female, are more in lines with femininity. Now, there's a nature component of femininity, but there's also a nurture component of femininity. I don't think that you should allow completely your environment that you were exposed to determine who you are as a person. Just like we don't allow being birthed and not going to school to determine our level of education. They bring you through education on purpose. Okay. What they don't talk about is the dichotomy between masculinity and femininity, and also dating and relationships on top of that. But if you were a woman who was raised in combative environments, you're going to take on more masculine roles. So that might be a component of your individuality, but that's not going to help you in a relationship with a high value dude ever, because high value dudes don't want combativeness. They don't want combativeness.
What? I think combativeness can be seen on both sides. I don't think that it's a masculinity thing. I think it's more of the character of the person. Like, being combative.
When you say something like combativeness can be seen on both sides. So explain that, because feminine women generally are not combative people. They're not competitive in conversation. Okay, men are competitive in conversation. They will combat. Okay, they will try to win, to let their positions be known, to let their physicality be known. Men will try to do that. Men will try to do that. Men have overt forms of expression and communication. Women have covert forms of expression and communication as defined by masculinity versus femininity. That is true. So you trying to posit who you are as an individual outside of the constructs of femininity and masculinity, I think is part of the problem. I think that is indicative of the issue. Okay? Because you're trying to put my truth and myself and who you are as a person in the nature that you've been indoctrinated into, the place that you grew up in, all right? The pain that you might have suffered, the way that you handle different portions of a conversation ahead of the construct of what men find attractive.
So let me say this. So I believe, just like you believe, men deserve, I believe everybody deserves love, support, and respect. I definitely believe a man deserves that because I'm a woman. And I believe so with that being said, that's you give love. Coming feminine energy is coming out of the character of the individual. Do they care enough to love you? Do they care enough to support you? Do they care enough to respect you? It's not really based off of, oh, I have a vagina. It's based off of what have I done to work on myself, so that way, because I was raised as in a single home. I know what it's like to have anger with men. I know what it's like, but I had to learn to understand that just because I feel something doesn't mean I have to lash out. And that came with building my character. It had nothing to do with the vagina in between my legs. That's what I'm trying to say. I just don't want us to put too much emphasis. Well, I just don't like putting a lot of emphasis on masculinity and femininity, because I believe that if a man and a woman are both willing to love, respect, and support each other, that's going to make a happy union for a child to live in, and just for the relationship to flourish.
So let me ask this question to you. So what type of man are you looking for? Let's go there.
I'm not particularly looking for a specific man. I'm a believer in Jesus. So I believe that God is going to place me in the vicinity of the man that he created.
No. We can't go into the I believe and I pray for stuff. I'm saying, what type of man would you want to accept within your life? Would it be a masculine man or would it be a feminine man?
It would be a man who is secure in himself, who understands that he can operate however he wants, but within a certain context of living his life. Like he wants.
Do you want a leader
for his relationship? He wants better for his own life.
Do you want a leader?
That's what I consider a leader. That's what I consider a leader. A leader is looking forward. That's why I want somebody looking forward who doesn't want to belittle me.
Do you want someone to lead you? Do you want someone to lead you? Oh, my bad. Wait, hold up. I hit the wrong button. Do you want someone to lead you?
Absolutely.
Hey, guess what? If someone is going to lead you, they need to have masculine characteristics and attributes.
I think it's about character.
Well,
that's why I call, because it's we disagree.
So let me ask you a question. What's the characteristics of a masculine man?
I don't submit to that.
So here's the thing. How do you know what you don't want if you don't know what a masculine man is?
I don't believe it.
So how do you know what you don't want if you don't know what a masculine man is? I don't want somebody. Wait, hold up.
What I'm saying to you is I don't want a man.
Hold on. Mute. Let's take a quick pause. Okay. If you don't know what a masculine man is, how do you know what you do or do not want? We're giving you a framework to try to prescribe to. We're giving you a framework. We're giving you a framework. Okay? So I asked multiple times, what is an issue with so what is a masculine man to you? Because if you can't define it, then it kills your argument. Because if you don't know what it is, then you can't tell if you want it or not. So what is a
back to
masculine
what
man
I
from your perspective?
was saying before.
What is a masculine man from your
To
perspective?
me, a masculine man, according to the way that you're putting it, is somebody who's believing what others are saying about who he should be as a man. I don't want that.
Okay. Yeah, listen, your definition of a masculine man just showed how uninformed you are about men.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I believe in being open and free and understanding
Listen,
who
all
you
that
are
openness,
and not putting yourself
and
in a box.
freeness is cool, but you have no idea what a masculine man is. You literally have absolutely no idea what a masculine man is, and I think that's a bit concerning.
Masculine means from.
Because here's the thing: if you don't know what a masculine man is, you don't know what it is to try to get someone.
Somebody who believes in it.
Hold on. If you don't know what a masculine man is, then that means that you don't know the key components of what a man is in order to make you feel secure. That means that you are completely and utterly lost. That's exactly what that means. Go ahead, mama.
Is it really?
It's,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Listen, you listen. Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
agree with you because that's what you. I understand where you're coming from. You put everything in the construct of mess.
I'm like lagging. I apologize. Keep going.
No, I was just saying I understand where you're coming from, and that's why I called, because you wanted somebody who could disagree. I just don't agree with putting myself in a box of femininity. Like, for example, you asked me about what is femininity, for example. Like, see, some people might see femininity as having big breasts and having a big booty, and that might be what we were talking about, like why some people are going out there and doing things to their body. But for me, I don't want to subscribe to what somebody else says is supposed to be feminine for me, because that's not necessarily the case for me, because I'm an individual for a reason.
Here's the thing. I don't think that you know what you want. I don't think that you have an idea of what will work well for you. I think you literally have absolutely no idea, because you don't know what a masculine man is, and you don't know what masculine men want. It seems that you are confused. So, like, when I talk about this, who's going to save modern women? I'm saying, who's going to save those like you? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because here's the thing: a gentleman like myself, like a gentleman like myself, right? Who comes across a young lady who's floating through an understanding of what a man like myself wants, you will have little to no chance with me, and men like me, you won't. Okay, because we're clearly purpose driven. We want to be leaders. We want to provide security. We want a fit woman, a woman who's not. We want a feminine woman. We want femininity. And if you're saying that you don't have an understanding of what femininity is, then you just come into a situation completely and utterly blind. That's essentially what I'm hearing from this, is that you just go in and you just bring you, and you just figure it out as you go. You just figure it out. But what I'm telling to you is that there's a basis of chemicals that flow through both men and women that are inherently different. And we like inherently different things. But what I hear from you is that I'm just going to believe myself, and I'm going to pray myself into a situation. I'm just going to believe. Well, here's the thing.
I just want to make that put on the record. It's not what I believe at all.
Okay. Well,
that's what you said. What you believe. I get that.
Okay.
I try my best to.
Hey, listen. At WIFE, I wholeheartedly appreciate. Are you a wife now?
I am not. It stands for Women Influencing Full Evolution.
Women Influencing Full Evolution. So who will continue to influence women's full evolution so that they can understand the ways that they can enhance their femininity? Who's going to be able to do that? Who should be able to do that?
I put it there because I believe in evolving past the idea of masculinity, evolving past the idea of femininity.
Okay.
So we can live, and that way our children don't feel the need to try to jump into this box because they feel more feminine and say, "Oh, I'm a girl," when they're a boy.
Okay.
Like we're putting people in boxes.
Okay. All right. I listen.
That's just my perception. I respect you though. I respect that 100%. I just don't agree. That's why I call, because you asked for somebody who called that don't agree.
And I wholeheartedly appreciate you calling in, Mama. You know what I'm saying? I respect you as well as your thoughts as well. Thank you so much again for calling in. I got a couple of other callers that's down up in there. Continue to share the content with the channel. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate it. Okay. You can call back in whatever time. All right. Take care. Listen, if y'all continue to call up here with Cricket Wireless, if y'all continue to call up here with Virgin Mobile, okay. I wanted to go in on her particular position. That's why I made it through the 2001 internet. Okay. I felt like I was in 1999. I feel like it was Y2K all over again. I was pissed. I was pissed and I was upset. As a technology enthusiast, I was angry. Okay. I was angry with that level of internet. Okay. She said she was in Wi-Fi. What the type of Wi-Fi was that? What? That was 56K. Okay. That was DSL. I hated it. I felt weird and uncomfortable. Okay. Shout out to her that came through. Okay. I wholeheartedly appreciated her thoughts. All right. I just hated her internet. All right. Next to the stage. Oh, you look familiar.
What's up, King?
What up, Ebony Queen? How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm doing good, and I'm blessed.
Disagree with me. What you got to say?
Oh, disagree with you. So, okay. So, got a question. You do, because I think the premise of the show, I always come in like catch your live streams late, but I think the premise is who's going to save modern women from themselves. Is that the premise of what we're talking about?
Well, that's the title. Yeah, we went through a whole stream going in on exactly what it is that I am talking about. But yeah, that was the premise, was the title. Okay. And I'm a little bit scared now that you don't know any of the context, but go ahead. Ask the question.
I can catch up. It's quite simple, I think. So based off the title, I do want to ask the question, like, y'all do understand that modern women are created by modern men, correct?
Talk to me. Explain more. Elaborate.
So women, we react to situations. So the energy that we put forth, the things that we do in modern times is based off modern situations. So basically, I guess I would have to get your definition of a modern woman, because just by living in
No, go ahead. Just by living
in modern times, I'm classified as a modern woman. So what negative characteristics are you trying to attach to being a modern woman?
Yeah, so you missed the entire stream. So it'll be hard for me to go through all of the things that I'm talking about.
No, you don't have to go through the whole thing.
And so I wasn't going to, but you could sum it up in like the I don't cook, I don't clean culture, the Cardi B, just look out in media. I'm not gonna go through the entire stream. You got to go back and rewind it. However,
I just wanted
so listen. So I agree with your initial premise. If we didn't live in a culture of INDEPE, whatever the goddamn shit that it is.
That was a man that said that. That was a man that was pushing that.
And the modern woman, okay, doesn't prescribe to the wants of the modern man in general and in mass.
I disagree.
Okay. Do you? Well,
most people, because I don't know if. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I want to listen.
I was gonna say, because a lot of the times when I'm listening to your live streams, I try to look around and find these things in society. So I don't know if I'm just not part of that class of woman that you're talking about, but myself, all of the women that I know, if you ask us to cook, we're gonna cook. First of all, we're cooking for ourselves. First of all. So second of all, if you ask us to cook, we're gonna do that just because we know that is part of making you happy. Like no woman, not any of my friends do I know that they don't, first of all, cook for themselves. Second of all, if their man is hungry, cook for them. Know that they need to clean. Know that they need to, in a way, let a man be a man. Now, I think the problem that a lot of men have
are you Muslim?
Yes, sir, I am.
Could it be that the Muslim homegirls that you surround yourself with live more of a traditional living?
No, sir, because I'm like the only Muslim girl in my circle. So
Okay.
I understand where you're going with that. And that probably plays a lot of influence in the way that I am. But yeah, they're not Muslim females. But what I was gonna say was a lot of the women that probably don't do this is because it's not appreciated. I see that a lot. Like a lot of men will come. Oh yeah, a lot of men will come and they'll disrespect that and they'll abuse that, and they don't appreciate that their woman does cook for them, that their woman does clean for them, that she doesn't. If you're doing bad, if you're kind of not in a position that a man should technically be in, she doesn't she doesn't come at you that way. She supports you and she uplifts you, and that is neglected and not
listen, Ebony Queen, I appreciate you coming here and speaking complete and utter lies about the modern women today. I appreciate you trying to impact the brand. But as a man, as a 35-year-old man that's in the culture right now, as a 35-year-old man that's in the culture right now, everything that you speak is complete and utter cap. It's complete and utter, not the reality, not what I experienced.
Right?
No, but it doesn't depend. It is. Well, listen, my experiences represent my friends' experiences, and it also represents data. Is the marriage rate going up or down?
For who?
What you mean for who? Is the marriage rate going up or down? Is the divorce rate going up or down?
Are you talking about black people? Are you talking like for who?
What was the rate that black people were married?
I know black
ago?
people.
What was the rate that black people were married at 80 years ago? And what is the rate that we are today?
Okay, I will answer. So it's higher back then than it was now. Let me tell you a reason why. Do you listen to the culture that's supposed to be black culture? Marriage is talked down about. I even seen some of your videos where you have people.
Well, why do you think that it is? What
because
do you think
that's the mentality.
Things? No, but what's laying into that mentality? It's not the things that you were saying are reality. Because my experience is asking about cooking and letting a dude to lead, and you get you ask about agreeableness and submission, and you get that is the reality today. Now, do you think that is the reality that it was 70 years ago? Do you think
that 70 years ago
was there songs out there purporting WAP and
70 years ago
and busting it 70 years ago? Was that reality back then? And I know that correlation doesn't equal causation, but we have to talk about the reality that we exist today. So you're just gonna say that like the WAP culture doesn't exist today, that the IG culture, that the Bust It Challenge culture doesn't exist today, that there's not those in here that will shame men or call them insecure because they want to post their insides up on Instagram, because they want to start an OnlyFans account? Are we saying that this is not the reality today? That this slut walk culture, that the independent woman culture has not, by and large, made men say, I don't want nothing to do with this. Because
I'm saying is that men perpetuate.
No, hold up. It's close to, it's disingenuous, and if not outright a lie, if you act as though your eyes are not privy to what happens today.
So
that women, by and large, are not participating in feminine activities. Go ahead, Mama. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So this is the issue. You're trying to make your experience everyone else's experience, because I just got on here and I just told you I don't see that. What I see is a lot of women who are doing these things and they're still not getting married. And a lot of the problem is because, like you said, 70, 80 years ago, marriage was a respectable thing. 70, 80 years ago, there was no WAP culture. There was no the Instagram, the shaming. First of all, black people.
You're proving my point. You're proving my point.
Okay, so I didn't get to finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Mama.
I didn't get to finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead,
so
Mama.
I'm saying now that a lot of the reason is not because women don't cook and women don't clean. And I'm not saying that women are, first of all, I didn't say that women are not doing this. But like I said, from my perspective, the women that I'm around, the black women that I'm around, they do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the cause of them not being married. A major factor of black people not being married is they're making that part of our culture. Is it's a shame to be married. There are songs that when you're talking about INDEP or whatever, the independent woman, that's a man perpetuating that. There was a song where a man said, I want a woman because she don't have to ask me for nothing. And then
So essentially, I said all of that, and what you said is that, yeah, we weren't doing that before.
No, you didn't understand anything that I said. I said that.
No, but you specifically said, after I said through all of that, of what modern men experience today, what you then said is that, yes, that didn't used to happen at the rate and the frequency as it did before.
But did you hear the cause of what I said? Men are perpetuating.
But then you skip to that marriage has a bad brand, and you seem to skip all of the middle of why it has a bad brand. Your anecdotal experiences don't represent the masses.
But you just said yours did. That's the problem. You just said you just went off of your anecdotal experiences.
It's not my anecdotal. It's not just my anecdotal. I'm looking at the data. I'm looking at the numbers. So you just think that all of a sudden men woke up one day. Hold up. So you think that men just woke up one day and said marriage is bad? Or do you think wait, no, hold up. Or do you think that there's some key reasons, behaviors, and some attitudes that have significantly shifted as to why men now say it's not worth it? So that is called taking accountability.
Right.
Because
and men
just
need
to
take
say
accountability for they look for women to take accountability. That's the problem.
And listen, but on this side of YouTube, I make sure that I take accountability to building up the men up here to the best ability that I absolutely can. I go over financial literacy. I go over education. All right. I point out bad behavior of the types that you should not be banging out with. Okay. I go over all of these different things. I don't see what I do at the rate and the frequency from the other side. So the question is who is going to help save modern women from themselves? Because the way that you speak about this is unaccountable in nature, because you posit that there's just a bad branding on marriage. Well, why do you think that it got that way? Men have to get on bended knee. And now men today, more often than ever, are saying the juice isn't worth the squeeze. But why? And I went over all of the things earlier in this session that you did not, you know what I'm saying? You came in late. It's okay. But I went over all the things that I talked about earlier as to why men are no longer thinking that the juice is worth the squeeze.
And no offense, King, all due respect, I'm quite sure it was biased. Because like I said, I listen to the things that you say. I listen to your channel, and like I said, you may have men like, teaching them about financial this, financial that, all the other things that they need to learn, and that's good. All praises for that. But I think what we're talking about is the relationship between men and women. But because that, no doubt, that will make them more, I guess, successful in the world. But it doesn't seem that Black men especially understand what it takes to lead other people, especially women. You can't have us take accountability. You can't try to have us take accountability when you don't take accountability. We need to see you guys taking accountability for the things that you're creating in our society. And then we'll say,
Let me ask you a question. What do you think women should take accountability for, if anything?
The whatever women are lacking in as far as a role of a woman, then I should take accountability for that. Because like I said, I'm more of an old-fashioned woman. So I expect my man, I don't want a modern man. I don't want a man who thinks I should have to pay half the bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a man like that.
At what rate is the modern woman not being feminine? If you were to take 100% of the population, how many? What percentage?
100% of the population would be my perception, right? Because I don't know 100% of the population.
No, I'm saying if you were to put so what you said is that women need to take account. I said, actually, what should they take accountability for? And what you said was to take accountability for, I think, like women duties, because you're more traditional in your mindset. I said, what portion of the population do you think understands that and is taking accountability for it?
So I think that, first of all, I do think that I have kind of a unique
number.
No, first you said for you're asking me to give a number for the population
or percentage. I'm sorry, percentage. What percentage of the population?
What percentage of the Black female population?
I asked the question 3 times. What percentage of the Black female population do you think understands that and takes accountability for that?
I think probably
percentage.
85, I think 85% of us understand that, but we can't do that.
That live in it. That live that.
We can't. 85%? That's what you don't understand. This is what you don't understand. We cannot live it. If the man is not taking accountability, if he's not living in his position, we cannot take accountability.
85% is incredibly too high. So here's the problem. And that's why I did this stream, because I have to point a picture at all of the bullshit that is happening. For you to say 85% means that you have no perception of what actually happens.
You said your question was about.
Well, I don't gotta repeat the question. I said it 4 times.
I understood the question, but you don't understand that. First of all, the question that you asked me, it really didn't make sense, because you're talking about, first of all, the whole population. I can't give a number based on the whole population.
Black women.
So based off
black women, how many do you think live that life?
I'm telling you. So based off of the black women that I deal with and the mentality that I understand.
Why is it so difficult?
85% of the black women that I deal, based off of what? Based off of what? It's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Based off of what? Based off of what?
The content in the sector would not be as popping as what it. I mean, shit. Look at it from a.
Why you didn't answer that question? Based off of what is that incorrect?
Well, I'm about to answer that question. Relax. There's some masculine qualities within that, but relax. Okay.
No, it's not.
The reason why I say that, if you take a look at the amount of women that require a dude that is making 6 figures to take care of them. Okay.
Who are these?
Because the majority of men are making $45,000-ish per year. But you get a drove of delusional, unrealistic ladies that are requiring these things, okay? That are requiring the height, that are requiring the schlong size, that are requiring the muscularity, the working out, none of which they have within themselves in the opposite side of the coin, okay? So to say that it's only 15, to say that there's only 15% of women, to say that there's only 15% of women that are living in true feminine roles is absolutely incorrect. And it's damn near abhorrent to think that that is the reality. But listen, at the end of the day, we're all predicated. If you don't look at numbers, data, and statistics, then we're all predicated off of the anecdotal experiences that we have. And the fact of the matter is that if you believe that 85% of women are marriage material, but only 1 in 4 will actually be married, then what is the discrepancy? Do you really truly believe that it's a 60-something% of men that are just truly unready? Or is it that there's a large amount of delusion within this that are requiring things out of men that are not realistic, even for their own standards? Who will save modern women from themselves? Because the numbers are there. The numbers are there. The discrepancies are incredibly there. The divorce rate is incredibly there.
The numbers do not indicate why this is. You're just saying that, oh, the numbers are high, you're not getting married. I watch.
No, I'm telling you why it is.
No, you don't. You told me. You tried to tell me because women are not married.
No. Well, listen. I can't go over the whole stream for you. You got to listen to the stream if you want to continue to challenge off of. I went over all of this. I went over exactly all of this. Is why to what I think that what this is. But there's a clear problem. And here's the thing: is that I continue to push the things that I'm saying at the rate and the frequency is what I'm saying is because I don't think that modern women today understand the positions that they put themselves in. By large and in mass. Now, when I say that, I'm also not saying that dudes don't have shit to work on. I know that they do.
They have a lot to work on.
Okay, so you're okay with saying that dudes have a lot to work on. But see, here's the thing.
Primarily their feminine qualities.
But here's the thing: is when I talk about when dudes have a lot to work on. Oh yeah, you all for that. But when I talk about women got shit to work on, no, what are you talking about? It's like 15% of us.
You just don't listen.
Hold on, it's like 15% of us that don't understand. That don't understand things about femininity, right? Like so. Here it is, the sisterhood code. The sisterhood code, you got to let it down in order to form solutions. I understand that there's dudes on her that need there's dudes that look like me that need absolute help. But guess what? I have a platform which is focusing in on building them up. That's why I have a Patreon, to focus on increasing value. That's why I do that. So you come and you speak all these things, and I say to you, sister, what are the things that you are doing besides acting like it doesn't exist?
I didn't say it doesn't exist. What I'm saying is that I hear you talking, saying you have a platform building them up, but what I see you doing is basically because you tried to shoot a masculine slug at me, so I'm gonna shoot a feminine slug back at you.
So what are you doing? So hold on. So what are you doing? What are you doing to ensure? What are you doing to ensure that modern women today understands what modern men want?
So I think this is where the disconnect is, and because we don't agree. Because when I see modern men and what they want, modern women are giving that to them. They want a woman who's going to go out and work. They want a woman who's going to be independent.
It's hard to have a conversation when it just doesn't seem to be making sense. It doesn't seem to be getting through. It doesn't seem to be getting through. The marriage rate is dropping. Me, myself, I am not a proponent of marriage. You say, well, it's because of the branding. No, it's because I'm looking out at what's being given back to me. And I'm saying to myself, why am I active in building myself up to be a provider, to be someone that can give protection, to be someone that can give security? And this is what I get in return. I am the table.
You're supposed to be. You're the man.
Just because I exist, just because the modern woman exists, she feels entitled to get this. But it continues to be purported by these queen, woman, sister, mother, goddesses, all this other shit that entitles women to think that all they got to do is just show up at the table, that they can be passive in who that they are and bringing what it is that they bring to a table, to the extent of not even being able to consider what it is that they actually bring to a proverbial table. I've done like 6 or 7 videos on bringing to the table. I've done like 6 or 7 videos, and it's just all of just people just cruising through life. Just cruising through life.
I mean, so what? Okay, so can I ask this? Because maybe I don't understand. What are the characteristics of what because you're talking about a modern woman.
Yes.
So what are the qualities of a woman who is not portraying a modern woman?
Well, the majority of you guys are overweight. I've gone over this in the entire stream, but I'll go over a couple of a little bit as well. The majority of you, I think it's like 70 or 80% are currently overweight. You're the most unhappiest, and you're the most medicated by far of any time in recorded. Oh, because you don't want to take accountability, so you can continue to say, "I wonder why."
Let that be the reason.
You could continue to say it's the man's fault, but can you actually can you consistently say that it's men's fault as the reason as to why you're overweight? Can you consistently say that it's men's fault to why you are the least conservative sexually ever? Can you continue to blame men that women by and large are the most unhappiest? Can you continue to blame men that women have the highest suicide rate? Can you continue to blame men that women have the highest abortion rate? Can you continue to blame men that right now it's the highest rate of ending pregnancy? Can you continue to blame men, or can you take accountability? It's the highest rate of single motherhood. Can you continue to blame men, or can you take accountability? Because everything is men's fault. And this is the problem. This is how we get the men are trash bullshit. This is why men are just like, dog, I had nothing to do with you making these decisions in life. And I'll be damned if I'm going to take care of your pre-made family. Okay. But if you keep on giving them my sister, art, God, queen, cocoa sister shea butter, all of this shit about the entitlement continues to push. And if you continue to get panderers that talk about this control your chakra bullshit, then we get absolutely nowhere. But we got to take a look at the actual things that are happening in our community and try to push these ideas forward, because I'll be damned if we're going to continue to act like this is all men's fault, because that's what you came in here at. You said women respond to men, and I don't disagree with you. But the modern woman today has so much ammunition not to, and it goes against what would keep them most happy. Shit, I'm 35 years old. Like I said earlier in the cast, I ain't got no kids. I'm not married. I'm single as hell, working on my purpose. Damn sure I can lead to the promised land and back. You understand me? I got some shit to work on. I'm not gonna hold you up. I got some shit to work on, Ebony Queen. I got some shit to work on. But 80% of the reason, right? 80% of the reason that no one has grabbed me up, or I have not grabbed anyone else up in confidence, is what I rather meant. It's because I look down and I'm seeing the State of the Union. And it's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
So I'm gonna ask a question.
All right, last question, then I gotta move on. But go ahead, Mama.
Okay.
And just real quick.
You gotta go. I understand. I'd go too.
No. I want you to ask one more question, because I wholeheartedly appreciate the conversation. But just real quick, for those that are calling in, if you do not cam up, you will not get on this stream. If you do not cam up, you are not getting on this stream. I want the ladies to be able to. My bad. I just scrolled down. There's a whole bunch. My bad. I missed. Okay. Yeah. If you do not come out, you are not getting on this stream. All right. I don't want to see no trolls. I don't want to see no bullshit. All the people that's down into the comment box, show the guests some respect. Shout out to Ebony Queen. All right. I appreciate you for coming through. Okay. I appreciate your thoughts, because this is a conversation that needs to be had. All right. Go ahead, Mama. What? I want to hear your question.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just, first of all, I definitely respect what you're doing and all of that, and I appreciate you too. So, but you just mentioned the State of the Union, and we're talking about this and that. And I don't know when, if you don't agree that the men are the leaders of the community, I don't know when the switch happened. But the question is, when you mention the State of the Union.
80s. But go ahead.
That's okay. Anyway, so as far as the state, because it was still your responsibility to be the leader, so that was still a fail on your part if this switch happened in the 80s. So if you're the leaders and the State of the Union is horrible, don't you think men are the ones that first should take accountability for the things that are causing the State of the Union to be in the position that it is?
Yes.
All right. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes.
And we're gonna fall right behind y'all in accountability. Women supports, my Black sisters support the men who have that mentality. If they are willing to take accountability, then you stand behind him as a woman and try your best to follow him and do your thing. Do y'all do your thing?
There it is. Ebony Queen. I'm glad we can come to a point of agreeing at this point. I'm glad we can come to a point of agreeing. Listen, I wholeheartedly appreciate your participation. You know what I'm saying? It was a very entertaining conversation. As I said last time, you are free to be able to call back. Okay, because at the end of the day, the goal here is to make sure that we have solutions, and I appreciate that. I'm glad we can come and figure something out towards the end. But I agree with you. And that's why I'm doing this.
Already.
That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this, because we already know. We already know who. So we already know the men should be the leaders. So we got to lead.
Yeah.
And that just is what it is. What it is. So I agree, but at the same time, we got to switch the negative mantra of how modern women consider men in general, because it doesn't help us leading if modern women shit on our brand. Because if we can't rely on the women that are here, why do we respect any man or woman outside of us to respect us, to lead? Can you agree with me back or no? You got something for me?
I mean, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll probably just call back next time, okay?
All right. I appreciate you, Ebony Queen. Call back, all right? Take care. That was a great conversation. Let me go through some of the super chats. Shout out again to Ebony Queen. Let me go through some of the super chats. I think I missed a couple of the 20 pluses. Shout out to Wayne. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Shout out to Jerome Jenkins. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat as well. Appreciate the support. Red sings the blues in the building. Modest is the woman who doesn't show tatas. Oh, he probably said that so he didn't get the comment deleted by YouTube. YouTube be deleting all types of comments while wearing an article of clothing representing modesty. Shout out to Red Sings the Blues in the building. This was a while ago, so I'm not even sure which portion of the conversation he's talking about, but thank you so much, brother. Anthony Spade in the building. Get him, MTR. Get those likes up. Another content creator in the building. Actually, Red Sings the Blues, a content creator as well as Anthony Spade. Shout out to the gentleman in the building. I appreciate the support, the love, and the respect. Dr. BOA in the building. An Americanized woman only gets what she earns in every facet of life, but wants a participation trophy from us. Facts. No work, no pay. Salute. Shout out to Dr. BOA in the building. Another content creator that gets it popping up here. Shout out to Dr. BOA. Appreciate the $50 super chat. Last but not least, shout out to Algie Lovelace with the $50 super chat with no comment. All right. Wholeheartedly appreciate it. All right, guys, hold on. We got a bunch of people that's down into the chat. We're going to continue this conversation. I got a little bit of time tonight, so we're going to continue on doing that. Shout out to over 2,000 that's in the building. How many likes I got? Guys, hit on that like button. I appreciate the folks that hit on the like button when they came in here, but show me the love, the support, and the respect that the stream deserves. Hit on that like button right now. Wholeheartedly appreciate it. All right. I got to go run to, I'll be right back.
How do people do this?
Next to the stage. What up, Nessa? How are you?
Wait.
You're muted.
Oh, evening.
Good evening.
Hi,
how are you? I'm doing
good.
all right.
Good. Hello from Canada.
What up, Canada in the building? All right. What do you what do you disagree with me on, Nessa?
I don't know yet. We'll see. Because based on what I've been listening and hearing, to answer your question on how should Black women save themselves, my answer would just go with themselves, because that's just very short, sweet, to the point. Usually, if like I go usually by the very simple saying of, if you keep on finding a problem. Like the first time it might be the other person, the second time it might be the other person, but the third and fourth and fifth time, then the common denominator is you, so you probably are the problem. So if there's issues with Black women, then look at yourself. Simple. And it doesn't even have to be just Black women, Black men, and not even like take out the color, men, women, period. If you got a problem and it keeps on repeating, it's you. You are doing something that keeps you in the same track, running over and over and over and over, and you need to get out of that trench, or else you're gonna find yourself like 6 feet under.
Listen, I wholeheartedly agree with you. How old are you?
I'm like 1 year younger than you.
Are you single or married?
I am. Well, I just found your video like recently. Thank the YouTube algorithm. I'm technically every single box that men should not be dating. So I have been married for 10 years, divorced. I have 3 children by the same man. So I'm the big red flag.
Got it. So when you say red flag, like in terms of what? Like, do you think that you have masculine characteristics in a relationship?
I would say it depends. Like maybe like argumentative at times or hard-headed. But if someone brings up a good point, I might be hard-headed, but it would just be kind of like out of like, man, like the person was right, but I don't want him to be right. Like give me like a few moments to cool down, and it'd be like, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, you were right. I don't want to say you were right, but all right, you made sense. All right, just shut up. I'll just do it, kind of thing.
So let me ask you a question. So my assumption is that so how long have you been divorced?
In February was my first year official paper. The government and the law and everything else said, okay, you're free and clear.
So let me ask you a question. I think it's specific to you, if you don't mind. But you were married for 10 years.
Yep.
Right. And now you are divorced. If you were to give any advice to the modern woman today so that they can stay married, what would that advice be?
To stay married? I got married at 22. Like I was turned like between 20 to 20. For myself, because I've seen both sides. In my circle of friends, I've had people that got married as young as 18, like within their early 20s, they were married. I've seen it go both ways. Where
so are you going to bring up age to wait? Are you gonna suggest women that they wait to get married?
Yes.
How long?
Wait.
How long do you think?
As long as it takes you to know yourself. As long as you are mentally prepared. Yeah, mentally prepared.
So here's the thing, and here's what I posit is that the majority of modern women today are not taking the time to know themselves or know what they want. So the advice of until the time that it takes to know yourself might be until the time that men don't want to pick them. So when I ask the question, who is saving modern women from themselves? But yet you give the answer of until they get to know themselves. I think that your heart is in the right place. However, if we don't quantify when that should or needs to be, because listen, it's not fair that dudes, we have a lot more time. It's not fair, but it is what it is.
It's so I hear. I've just recently I'm hearing all sorts of different things.
Yeah, but that's quantifiable. Why? Because geriatric pregnancy is at what, 36?
I think so. I think they're trying to push it farther, but I think it's around there.
It's about 36. And the folks that have access to freezing of eggs or this, like all of the different technologies that will probably more than likely require a higher tax bracket than the majority of people. Okay. So if we're going to give an age of when this should happen, I think that it should be quantifiable and not necessarily whenever you figure it out. Because there's a lot of young people that are hoping to figure it out at some point, but are not putting in the work in order to figure it out. And shit, I know 50-year-old people that haven't figured it out.
I think, like, for example, for myself, if I met me younger, I would say wait. Because in my 20s, I definitely didn't know myself. I believe you should, like, in your 20s should be when you're, like, if you know, you start dating and you seem to be falling in a pattern, and you, like, the first guy, girl, whoever, okay, it's a problem. It might have been the other person. Second person, stroke of luck, might have been the other person. But if you, like, because at some point everyone's going to notice if there's a pattern. Oh, I'm always dating, like, someone who, I don't know, cheats on me, or they're always manipulating me, or they're always this, that. At some point you have to go and sit and be like, what am I letting myself do to me? Like, obviously there are signs that I'm not catching or things that I'm ignoring.
And let me ask you another question. Did you file for divorce?
I myself, I did, yes.
Uh-oh.
I know. I did it because if we would have kept going, like, I'm saying this in all honesty, at this point right now, I might not have been living.
Okay. And I completely respect that.
So it wasn't like, oh, I can find better, I'm bad, I'm good. Like, it wasn't nothing. Like, it was truly, I held on as much as possible up until I had to look at myself and say, if you keep on going, we were both miserable. One, like, I'm not gonna, like, truly, I'm not gonna be on this earth. So for the sake of my kids being happy, myself being happy, my ex being happy, and he was not seeing that this was a very miserable situation, I have to cut it.
Yeah. And here's the thing is that, so, you know, and I appreciate you speaking about, you know, to know oneself, because I think that it's correct. If you don't know yourself, you're probably not going to pick someone else that would be good for you in your particular situation. You know, and I don't know the intricacies of the situation. And, you know, right, like, so we don't know. There's always one side of the coin, is another side of the coin, and then there's somewhere in the truth in the middle. So I guess, like, I don't want to get too much into your particular story, but you had 3 kids with them, right? Yeah. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3, right? So, like, I mean, at the conclusion of that, right, like, if you really truly and believe it was as volatile as what it was, then, you know, I trust your decision that you had to make in order to protect yourself. But if it wasn't, then, you know, can you talk through, is there difficulties within the dating game now, or are you just not even dating at all to continue to raise the children?
Well, I do have to say that it is 3 kids, but, like, they're twins. So it was 2 pregnancies. So I had no incumbents. But right now I'm not dating. I'm just focusing on myself. I'm working, providing for my family. We're co-parenting peacefully.
Yeah.
You know, civilly. Well, I wasn't into, because I've seen a lot of, like, from your channel and other places where, like, you know, there was disagreements and fighting and the women wanting to be petty or vindictive, and I did not want that. That's not my style. I don't have time for this. I just want, you know, I want things to be chill.
Well, and here's the thing, you know, when I asked the question at the top of the show, okay, who must save modern women from themselves? I think a lot of that has to do with the choices that they are picking within it as well, right? So if we have an opportunity to be able to save from the decisions that they make it, and whether or not it is from an age perspective or a knowing of self perspective, because I do content on this channel all the time. What do you bring to the table? And they don't particularly know. And if they don't particularly know, that means that they don't know themselves. And I would argue, if you knew yourself more before you got married, perhaps you could have picked a situation that didn't conclude like that. So one more time, when I ask the question and see from your perspective, Who will save them from themselves? I know your original answer was themselves, but any additional answers after kind of going through this conversation?
Well, I have to say themselves, because if it's not us, like, why are we expecting other people to save us? Why any of us? Why is any of us expecting like someone else to like there's a point, yes, okay, maybe someone can show us the way, give us tools, whether it be effective communication, finances, conflict management, whatever. But after all these tools, you're the one that has to implement it. You're the one that has to put it into your life. If you don't do that, like, and in the end, you're the person that you can only control yourself. You can only control your, like, as far as your body, your arms can go. So if someone gives you the tool, if from whichever source it comes, then it's on the person, you, me, whoever, to work on those. You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm single because this, or men don't like me because XYZ, but then you just sit there and either like your expectations are like way outside of reality, or it's like you're so picky you end up picking crap type of thing. Like, you have to take yourself accountable for what you do.
Accountability is absolutely fundamentally key. I think on both sides of the coin, both men and women. Nessa, thank you so much for coming through today, Mama. I appreciate you coming back. All right. You're welcome back anytime. All right.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you. Guys, I definitely missed the super chat. Apparently, Coach Greg Adams was down into the building. I'm looking at it right now. Looking forward to this live. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, Coach Gang in the building. I completely missed that. Hopefully, he's still down up in here. Fantastic content creator. Fantastic content creator. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He was in the building. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Shout out to Travis Abernathy. I truly appreciate you, MTR, for the balanced sector of the manosphere. Thank you, brother. You guys are starting a much-needed Black cultural renaissance. Oh, Rick Ross grunt. Push through the resistance and stay committed to the mission. That's the goal. That is the goal. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I'll push through the resistance. It's not easy, but I'll continue to keep on going. Shout out to I Support Content Creators. We have to find a way to help Black women get over their fear, disgust, and shame over showing their own natural hair to people. Ooh. I'm a grown man and I get upset seeing it time and time again. Shout out to I Support Content Creators. I appreciate the $20 super chat. Guys, there was other super chats that's down up in there. I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. I got to keep on moving on. I only have time to call out the $20 and above. Next to the stage. What up, Lee? How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Lee, let's get right into the smoke. What do you not agree with?
There's a lot I don't agree with, and a lot of it is directing men's aggression towards women, because most men don't even know what they want. When you start talking about relationships, they're like, oh, I want this, I want that. And then you give them that. That's not what they want.
Okay, well, let's stop with the question at the top of the hour. Who must save modern women from themselves? Do you not agree that I should posit that statement?
Do you think men can't save us? They don't have the tools that we need to get saved.
No, but I'm saying who should, though? Who should?
It starts with the individual. It really does. A lot of women need to do work within themselves. So you can't work as a group. Women are not team effort individuals. We're not built like that. It's like, I don't like her since kindergarten. I don't know why, but I don't like that. And it's just what it is.
Well, here's the thing. I think here's the thing. Like, cause if I see a young lady that doesn't have women friends, to me, it's a red flag, because I think feminine women can get along with feminine women. Do you not agree?
I have one female friend, and we've been best friends since I was 13. Most of my friends are males. And it's because I don't do cattiness. And I'm not going back and forth with you. A lot of the females that I do deal with, they say I have the mentality of a man. They're like, oh, well, they're like, oh, you're just cold-hearted like a man. Like, I don't do all the back and forth. I don't care about your feelings. It is what it is. Women deal in emotions, and I don't deal in emotions at all. Your feelings don't mean anything. Let's get this job done and let's get to it. But most women don't deal like that. They think that their feelings are supposed to dictate how things are supposed to run, and that's not how it works in the real world.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how masculine are you?
A boy until the day I was born.
So 10.
So, I was 11 years old and 5'9".
All right. So listen, Lee, you're a whole gentleman. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm a female. I love being a female. I just don't the niceties of it all.
Do you understand how confusing that you're being?
Gentlemen.
Lee, do you understand how confusing that you're being?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but we as individuals all have nuances. There's no black and there's no white. There is no, like, when it comes to
why do so many modern women want to fight femininity?
No, this is who I am. Like, I was always that girl that they were like,
again. Why do so many modern women want to fight femininity? It's not natural within our culture, and that's the problem. If you say this is who I am, but listen, but again, the argument is the cart before the horse. Okay, because my argument is that the natural nature should override what you have experienced within your life.
My natural nature
and here's the thing. Well, hold on. My argument is that you have experienced things within your life that have made you masculine. There has been a single parent raising you in your life.
No, raised with my father all my life.
Okay. Did he take you out to
fishing, hunting? Okay,
so he overly okay. So
no, I have a sister, and that's not her nature. I've always just been
but your father treated you like a little boy.
No, like, he treated me in my house. There was no gender roles. It was just, you like to do what you like to do. I had the biggest Barbie collection in the world, and I still love Barbie.
Okay. There's definitely some confusion that's going on here because, and I say that because listen, like, I think at the end of the day, what seems to happen in this particular community is that we push masculine roles for both men and women, and it seems to be valued in the society to push it towards women today. It's like the complete and utter opposite. What men typically want is feminine women. What they want is typically feminine women. So if we're looking at the marriage rate, right, and we're looking at the amount of men, such as myself, that are no longer proponents of marriage, because we're looking out at the pick of the litter, and we're not seeing what would align. We're not seeing traditional women in align to a traditional contract marriage. Then that's a problem. And I posit that the more
that's not
hold on, soldier. Okay,
it's not going to.
Hold on, soldier. Hold on. Yep, drink that water. You got to cool down a little bit. Okay, let the content provider provide the content. Okay, and I would posit that the longer that we do not point a finger at what men want, and the more that women just say, no, I don't need to conform to anything. I am me. I bring myself. He will accept me for who I am because I live in my truth. The more that we continue to say men are trash, the more that we keep our weights out of check, the more that we live in a sexually liberated society and or movement, the more that we do these inherently masculine things within the women, men will continue to see their way out of the culture. That is my issue. That is my problem.
So the women are having sex with themselves? The women are having sex with themselves?
No, of course, we're going to, listen, if you give me the viscosity, I'm taking the viscosity. Make it harder for us.
So, but what else do you have to offer?
Wait.
Now we're getting down to
it's
it.
So crazy
what
that
else
you bring
do you
that up.
have to offer?
But see, the reason that you bring that up and you're so confident in bringing that up is because you consider masculine energy to be the same thing for men and women.
No,
No. Oh, it's just what are they just having?
Well,
No, you're not. You're doing it with us.
Hold your viscosity.
But you're doing it with us, and you're doing it often. You're doing it with us, and you're doing it often on all of the trips that you go to, and all of this and all of that. What did Ayanna say? Close your legs and open your heart.
She said that because she's 70 years old and her stuff dried up.
You got to listen to the elders.
While she was out here, she was swinging that thing too.
Listen, at the end of the day, the men are over here listening to the elders. We look up at the elders for experience because we know learn from experience.
Vote with your penis.
Wait, because we know what has happened in the past, and we could take a look at wise people talking about shit and leverage the data from what they're saying. You can't just say, wait, hold on. You can't just say because she's old and she don't need she's speaking from experience. And that's the problem is we don't respect our elders anymore. We don't respect our elders anymore, and we just laugh through the knowledge that they say. Or
take the advice of a woman who divorced her husband and then got him back after.
Mute. Here's the thing: the longer that we continue to disrespect those that are from a far-gone era that we just think that is bullshit, how could I expect you guys to not respect other women, other elder women, but yet respect men in the things that we're saying? So when we tell you things such as we want feminine and in-shape women, you're going to continue to step all over because I see what you do from the elder women in your community. You laugh at it, just like you're doing right now. Why? How did we get here?
I laugh at my mother. I feel like she was a fool to be with my father. Honestly, like let's say what it really is. Many, if you feel that way, you all need to vote with your penises because I'm raising, my son is an adult. I tell him, you cast your vote with your penis. You give your power away with your penis. Your penis will make you a slave or liberate you, either way. So as long as you're having sex with these women that you don't like, you're still giving them your power when you end up down at child support enforcement. So don't come at us when you, women are going to always look for an advantage, regardless of what, whether it's feminine or masculine or whatever it is.
Wait, how old is your son?
He's about to be 19.
Okay. And you tell him vote with your penis?
The type of woman you want, you better vote with your penis. Your penis has the power to make you a slave.
Okay. I agree. It does have the opportunity to be able to do that. And I always talk about accountability within the dudes of the things that they are doing. However, I find it so ironic that you laugh at Ayanna. What makes you think that your son's not laughing at you?
Well, because we have these conversations, and I tell him like anything that I have done.
But listen, though, but really though, but why not respect what Ayanna's saying, but then why expect your boy to respect what you're saying?
Because I'm looking at the outcome of what she's saying. This is a woman who married a man, divorced him, married him again, and then he cheated on her with her friend. You have the right to tell me of how to make anything successful. Okay, I'm gonna do what you didn't do.
So there's nothing sloppy about your life?
What you mean sloppy? Hell no. No, because I don't care enough to make it sloppy. No, not sloppy. I'm an open book. Don't care. No.
There's nothing sloppy about your life. Do I need to ask questions?
Yes, I worked through it. I worked hard.
Your left hand is without a ring. What happened to it?
I'm left-handed and I didn't want to get married. I don't personally believe in marriage.
Why didn't you want to get married?
I told you I was raised in a 2-parent household, and I would look at my mother and father and like, that ain't what I want.
What made you so defiant from marriage?
Seeing the women that came before me. My grandmothers are in their 90s, and they were with men because they needed men to make the household whole, to run the household. So, and that's another thing, men can't ask us to be those women if we have to pay half the bills. My grandmother's never had to work to pay a bill. So if you think
do you have a provider and or a protector?
I'm the provider and I got a
So when I asked you, so when I asked you about being is there anything sloppy within your past as well? But you're judging Ayanla, and you have not led a stereotypical cookie cutter lifestyle at all. And in fact, because you don't have a provider and have a protector, you have to elicit these very masculine traits within you in order to stand up a family.
Hold on, I was with a man for 12 years, but
you're not with him now.
And no one, he asked me to marry him, and there's no way in hell that I would give away my power, or because he had this thing like, well,
why is getting married removing your power?
Because I
run
this. Why would I marry him?
Lee, no disrespect, but you are the modern woman. You are who I'm talking about right here. Okay. You are who I'm talking about right here. You are consistently defiant. You don't want to listen to what the elders have said. You have a son, and you expect him to listen to you when you were defiant towards elders in the community that want to do good by the community. You don't want to give away your power. You feel powerless under the leadership of a man. These are masculine women, modern women characteristics with a hidden a masculine traits, because you live a INDEP type of a lifestyle. And my argument is that type of lifestyle will not provide you the greatest happiness within your life. It will not. It will continue, because what you want more than ever, more than likely, I don't want to speak for you and I want to hear from you, is to be under the leadership of a strong dude that can lead you to the promised land and back. Well, let me ask you a question. Where did the negative feeling or hate towards men come from?
I don't have hate towards men.
So why don't you want a man to lead you?
We can be friends. We can. Okay.
No.
Let me say that. Because
right,
they have nothing to give me that I can't get anyway. Vote with your penis.
No. Here's what you can't get: femininity.
I don't want that.
You need a masculine. Well, you can't get happiness then. Sorry.
I'm happy.
No, you're fake happy.
No, I'm really happy. I'm really happy.
Listen, you can try to convince yourself of happiness within that, but listen, mistakes were made. Mistakes were absolutely made.
No,
okay?
listen.
So to judge Ayanla based off of, and I don't know all the things you were talking about. I've never heard of those particular things. But that is what it is. But to judge her based off of similar mistakes that you've made in your life, I don't think is a viable way to contribute to a conversation.
I don't. But what I'm saying is,
because just real quick, you have gone. So what you said is that how long ago did you relinquish a provider and a security within your life, or the dude?
Well, I never gave him that position. He just did again.
Well, I'm gonna ask you another question. How much of the 19-year life? You have only one child?
Yes.
How much of that lifespan was a man not involved in his life?
A man has always been involved in his life. A man has always been involved in his life.
So let me rephrase the question. How long was his father involved in his life?
Oh, I dealt with his father till he was 6 years old, but it still wasn't that energy anyway, because
So there's been men in and out of his life to provide us example of manhood.
No, his father's still there every day. I just don't choose to deal with him. I have that's what I'm saying. Men, vote with your penises. As long as you give us the choice to pick and choose, we're going to pick and choose.
So when is the accountability for women? Because I'm trying to ask you this line of questions to understand a little bit more about how you think about these things. But what it seems as though vote with your. I'm gonna say egg. I'm gonna continue to say eggplant from here on out, because I feel like YouTube is gonna demonetize me on some bullshit.
Oh, for that,
they're super sensitive. They're super sensitive. It's okay. But at what point does the onus have to be on women, right? Because I also say this from a perspective. And listen, I agree with you. We should vote. But at the same time, they're opening their legs to us. Women are opening their legs to us. Okay, we're gonna continue to receive the viscous innards at an increasing rate, the most that we absolutely can. But I think that, listen, at the end of the day, women hold the key to the viscous innards, men hold the key to relationships. Okay? So if we want to work on the single parent...
But if women are trying to get control over you...
Listen. But listen, if we want to work on this single mother epidemic, which is 20 to 25% higher than the next race, can we not agree that that is a major problem within the community? Can we not agree that the way that you've chosen to raise your son is not ideal? Listen, Lee, can we not agree that the way that you have chosen to raise your son outside of a two-parent consistent household is not ideal?
I don't agree with that because I was miserable the day my mom left my dad. I was the happiest day. We was like, bye, daddy.
Well, Lee, listen. but Lee, listen, you may not agree with that, but the data doesn't show that. The data doesn't show that it's not the best case to raise in an inconsistent,
most of those include
nuclear family. The data doesn't show that.
Contrast that data to poverty levels also, because I can say this: my son is in college with a full scholarship. I didn't have to pay a dime. He's never not had anything that he didn't want. You know, I'm at the time currently, I'm like, oh, should I have another baby? I don't want to be in a relationship to have a baby, but I'm in a position where I can afford a baby. I've worked for it.
Listen, and congratulations to him. Is it what type of school is it?
He got several different scholarships, but right now because of COVID, he is it's like a D3 school because it's close to home, and I have a house that he can stay in and didn't have to pay any room and board.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you're setting that up for him. I'm super happy. The issue is that we continue to focus on these anecdotal experiences, and we're not focusing on the majority.
I think with the single
and the majority is what we're talking about, because when I say modern women, the majority of modern women are not raising young boys in single parent households and they're getting scholarships. That's not the majority.
But my circle of friends that are there, that's what's happening.
It is way more likely.
It's the poverty.
It is way more likely in a two-parent household.
It's the
that's what happened. And here's the thing. And here's part of the argument.
The biggest issue is the poverty.
Listen,
now you're more likely to be in poverty if you are single.
Jesus Christ. Here's another argument. Could he have gone to a D2 or a D1 school? He was raised in a two-parent household. If he was raised in a two-parent household, my argument is that he would have been way more likely.
He could have went to a D1 school as is, but with COVID, with the way it was structured,
I think. Listen. You could continue to beat around the bush like a les around the tush. You can continue to fight. Well, it could have, and you're focusing in outliers. You're not focusing in the majority of. Well, that's because you don't care about the modern woman. You care about yourself.
Didn't I say it was individuals have to hold themselves accountable?
No, but the question is how can modern women save themselves? That's the question. And you only care about you. So listen, if you only care about yourself, this is at this point is absolutely ridiculous because you're stepping over facts, you're stepping over data for anecdotal experiences. And when I ask you questions,
what data am I stepping over?
The importance of a two-parent household.
And I said the biggest variable in that is the poverty. Whether you're a one-parent or two-parent, a child born in poverty.
She left. Guys, this is why we're so far behind. This is it. You just saw it. You just got a first class seat and a first class ticket to why we're so behind. It's because they're okay with mediocrity. They're okay with average. They want to fight tooth and nail to be lower than the rest. They want to fight tooth and nail for it. The data doesn't support with what you're saying. The information that I go off on this channel doesn't support with what you are saying. I asked a question about modern women and you say that you don't care. I just care about me. This is absolutely insane. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, this is absolutely insane. You know, and it's so sad to see at the rate and the frequency as what it happens. I mean, she has a 19-year-old son. I pray for him. I pray for his outcomes in life. I pray for the decisions that he makes in his life. She shits on Ayanla as being an elder, and then expects her son to listen to the things that she's saying. This is a complete and utter train wreck. It's a complete and utter train wreck. Okay. Oh God. Okay, who we got down up in the corner? All right, guys, get your cameras ready. Who's down in there? Get your cameras ready. Get your cameras ready. I'm gonna do one. Okay, Abby, what's good, Abby? What is happening?
Hello.
What up? How are you, Abby?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
All right, it's Abby and who? Who's the other one?
Aquia.
What up? Are you guys related?
No. No, we're not.
Oh, that's a fantastic background you got going over there. What city are you guys in?
Toronto.
Oh, of course. I love that city. All right, what's up, guys?
Okay, so yes, I personally don't believe that modern women, I think they're beyond saving, first of all. Only because it's, I think the culture and what's going on out in the world is very it supports the negative emotions or negative characters of women. So I don't know how they can be saved. That's what I would say. I don't think they can be saved.
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay.
So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't I don't know either. I think like at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that called in that said that, it takes accountability on oneself. And I think that there's, here's the thing is I think there's a lot of folks that discount the impact of visual media.
Okay.
Right. So I look at this particular space and I think that becoming an influencer where you can develop long form content, right? Long form content where you can challenge ideas, you can posit solutions, you can hypothesize and throw things up in the air to allow people to critically think. I think that it's important to people to take on the A of being able to transition bad attitudes and bad behavior and to seek accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I don't necessarily agree that it will never be fixed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, I appreciate your identification that there does exist an issue, because every young lady on here before is acting as if I'm out of my mind.
True. Okay, so my thing is, if there's going to be any change, like you said, if there's a conversation, accountability, how can it be possible? The only way it can make a difference, it's going to be on a very micro level.
Yeah.
Because genuinely speaking, in mass media, even in television shows, if you watch TV, everything supports like the feminist movement. Everything is anti-male, anti-men. There's nothing that tells a girl that no, you need to be more like this. And if you're more like this, then the outcome could be positive. It's very except maybe your channel and other channels that are coming up now, but it's still going to make a difference on a micro level, because mass media will not tell a female that what you're doing is wrong.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? So
yeah, I'm with you. And really they can come to this sector, but if I look at the most of those that follow my channel, it's men, right?
Yeah.
And of the women that do follow, it's usually their significant other sent them this the content over here.
Okay.
So and here's the thing is that I'm gonna make time into the future to get femininity channels up on this platform to let them speak as well, and to talk through potential solutions. I'm planning on that in the future, so stay tuned.
Okay.
But I think that just as well as that I'm attempting to make the dudes over here as accountable as what they can be into the future. I think that from a creator's perspective, there should be women as well that are putting the same amount of accountability and pressure as well. I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to take decades. But if we don't start now, then it's only going to get worse and worse. So,
okay,
Abby, I got to move on. I'm going to move on to the next.
I just have a question for you though before we move on.
Oh, okay.
I have a qualms with okay, so you mentioned strong and independent women. I just want to know like your take on, because I would separate the two in terms of a woman can be strong-minded in terms of like having a strong mentality, like when they're facing anxiety, different aspects of life, and versus being independent, right? Wait,
so what's the question? I missed the question.
I know because there's a negative connotation. If you're strong and independent, it's a negative thing as for a female, right? But can a female be strong and not be independent?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So let me keep it funky. Women can be very strong within their femininity.
Okay.
I think they can be very strong. Here's the thing. I think that there's a huge juggling act that modern women who want a guy to take care of them. I think there's a strong juggling act that they have to do, right? Because you may go into a workplace and need to be alpha to succeed, but where is that transition when you go home? And I think like there's so many modern women that say that right there is impossible. Now, there is content creators out there that focus their channels on that, how to transition from in the workplace to going back to home. But I'm telling you, the majority of the dudes that you want to be able to feel the most secure, right? The most provided for, okay? They're going for more traditionally minded women, right? The majority, okay? The majority. So then the question is how do you chameleon yourself to be one place in the workplace, but then be another place from a relationship perspective?
Oh, okay.
So, hey, but thank you so much, Mama Abby. You feel free to call back anytime. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Right. Next to the stage, Sammy.
Hi.
God. How are you, Sammy?
I got my rollers in, so.
Yeah, you sure do.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing extremely well, but I gotta know, what do you disagree with?
It's not necessarily that I disagree. It's more I want to add to the conversation. I feel that for modern women, as far as saving self, it's about being honest with ourselves, like what our actual flaws are, and being honest about what we are bringing to the table. Being honest if we're not bringing anything to the table. Like, it's about working on yourself. And what I see going on is a lot of projecting, putting it on the other person to fulfill the relationship, make it balanced, and it just doesn't work that way. Like, if you're not able to look at yourself and be honest and be like, look, this is where I fucked up, this is what I need to address, then it's always going to be a perpetual cycle of like pointing the finger on somebody else. So
got it. And Sammy, let me also ask you a question. How old are you, number one?
I'm 29.
29. Okay. So if I was, let me also ask it from this perspective. If I was to ask for your particular checklist of a dude, what type of dude would you be looking for? I don't know if you're single in a relationship, but what type would fit well with you? Like, what is the top 5 things that you would say that you're looking for?
I would want someone who is.
You don't look 29, by the way. You look like a smooth 23.
I know, right? Thank you so much. I don't have children. I am a teacher, though. So that's why I understand how important it is to work on yourself, because in order to bring life into this world, you have to be on a certain level with yourself. But back to your question with the men, like, my type or my preference would be someone who is focused on self-development, like always wanting to become the best version of themselves and willing to heal, make adjustments where they need to make adjustments, but also support me in that process as well. Like, give me grace. I'm not looking for someone to provide or take care of. I'm more so looking for a partnership where we can build together. I feel like a lot of the disconnect is we're looking at prior examples of relationships. A lot of those failed too, though, you know? So we're in this new space where we're trying to carve out a new version of a healthy partnership, and none of us really know how that looks, or what that looks like. We're all trying to figure it out. So I would want someone who's willing to figure that out with me.
Are you looking for a leader?
Not necessarily. I used to, but I realized that in looking for a leader, it takes the power out of yourself too, because you don't have to lead and govern yourself. And if you put it all on the other person, they can't always account for the areas where you have a deficit. So I feel like the balance is knowing where you have your strengths and knowing your weaknesses and letting that person be the leader in those scenarios. So if I'm strong with kids, let me lead in that department. If you're strong with finances, I let you lead in like learning that.
So you would define yourself as a modern woman. So when I say that, I'm saying you're not necessarily looking for someone that can lead. You're looking for a true partnership. You're looking for a true 50-50.
Yeah. So, but I do love the leadership aspect of a partnership. So I can't necessarily say, it's hard to say.
I'm confused because it sounded like when you described that, it sounded like that you don't necessarily want someone to lead because according to you said it's going to take your power out.
No, I don't feel it's going to take my power away, but I feel like it kind of.
But you said that though.
No, what I meant by that is like it's me putting my power in that person in terms of expecting them to guide me in my own life. Like I feel that in a relationship.
So let me try to posit this just real quick, Sammy. Yeah. So here's what I would say is that if you don't feel like you can trust a dude to make decisions within a relationship. Mm-hmm. If you really truly believe that you can't, then I would argue that you're probably not in the right relationship.
You would be correct.
Okay.
Yeah. You would be correct. That's the reason I'm not in a relationship now. The one that I was in prior, that was the issue, was trust. And I realized that a lot of the times what women aren't willing to admit is that there's not enough trust for them to submit or let someone lead them because you're actually afraid that they will lead you into pain or confusion or chaos.
Yeah, but is that afraid based off of the actions that person has been taking, or is it based off of past trauma or past hurt? Because one of the things that I talked about in the beginning of the stream is that there is a general disdain for men in our culture, for males in our culture. Yeah. The men are trash movement, the toxic masculinity movement. So are you talking from a specific instance of the men that are in your life? Or are you talking about what media has told you about men or an experience that you've had in the past with men?
Okay. So for me, it would be.
Where'd she go? Did we lose her? Come on, Sammy. You got that cricket, Sammy? What's going on? I can't hear you. You're muted. Hold on. Let's try to get Sammy back. Okay, we lost Sammy. The conversation was about to heat up. Yeah, I was about to. Oh wait, is she back? No, she's not back. Hold on. Let me kick her out, and then hopefully she'll come back in. Oh, the conversation was about to get good. Let me see. Who's this? Q, your device is not connected. I do not see you. I'm kicking you out, Q. Okay. Guys, that conversation, that was about to, I want, Sammy, if you're still here, please call back. I got to have a conversation with you. Okay. I got to have a conversation. Uh-oh, she's back. What up, Sammy?
God. So sorry. My laptop died. But yeah, you were asking if it's like past experience versus what society is telling me. For me personally, it's not about society, but I studied marketing, so I know when I'm being marketed to. So that's just my own personal thing. But I know past experience does determine a lot of the decisions that women tend to make. For me, because I'm aware of that, I make sure I'm mindful of, am I operating from a past mindset or am I operating from what this person is showing me now? But that's a level that a lot of people haven't yet achieved, even though they feel that they have. I feel that a lot of modern women. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. The last relationship, I'm assuming that we're talking about this because he did not have what you might think of as leadership qualities. Yes or no?
Correct. Yeah.
Did he provide you security?
No.
How do you define security?
Like being able to trust the person. Yes, but in that situation, he had a kid like outside of me prior to us being together, and he was still messing with her while we were together. So it created chaos. And
how did you know that?
She came to me and told me.
Okay, so there was a whole bunch of drama.
You know, exactly. So I'm not going to say that that's the case for every person, but clearly that was my experience. So that's what I'm talking about, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So again, you're 29, no children. Apparently you engage in an activity that provides you substantial income. So what do you think that you are missing to attract a dude who's masculine, that provides security and that you want to be a leader within your life? What do you think is missing?
Honestly, I've been closed off to relationships or dating for a while. I've recently started opening myself back up. But yeah, I feel like that's what I was missing, is actually allowing that to flow into my experience. When you have a wall or a guard up, it's hard for you to be able to discern or determine if this person could be that for you. And I think that that's the case. A lot of women are hiding behind this pseudo femininity, which is really just out of balance, like too masculine, in the terms that you're not really letting yourself explore the other sides of yourself. You're only in this, I have to look out for myself survival mode. And when you're operating like that, you can't see what's being presented to you or if it's for you.
Yeah. Oh, so what I'm also hearing is some particular damage within that. So like, have you gone out and gotten some therapy regarding the past, the things that have happened to you in the past?
Yeah. So I made the conscious decision to do that because I don't want to repeat cycles.
Yeah.
Seeing women go through this generationally and around me, and I don't want to repeat that narrative. So I'm intentional about healing myself because I want to attract someone who is also intentional about doing that same work within himself.
Got it. Okay. So again, just to ask the question at the top, who must save modern women from themselves? Bulleted answer. Who is that? Who should be able to save them?
Modern women, it's a hard question. I would say themselves, but it's hard if they're not aware that they need to address certain things, they're not going to do that kind of work. I really don't think anyone can save the modern woman. I think everyone would really have to be an example through their own work. So like, show what it looks like to be balanced, show what it looks like to hold yourself accountable, because you can't save nobody.
Listen,
Try.
Listen, I really appreciate this conversation. I really appreciate it, Sammy, the God. I appreciate the conversation because at the end of the day, what I see from here is that you experienced some ish, you went and got some help for some ish, you closed yourself up for a little while to continue that healing, and now you're going to open yourself back up again. You're 29, you're not 39, right? So you got a little bit of time within that. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate everything that you say within that. And you stick out with the A word, which is accountability. And that's all it is. And I'm continuing to try to push over here. You know what I'm saying? What city are you in?
Say that again.
What city are you in?
I'm in New York.
Oh, okay.
Where are you?
I'm around.
Okay. All right.
Sammy, I appreciate you 100%. Thank you for calling in. You are more than welcome to call in again in the future. Hopefully everything with your hair comes out correctly.
It will. It'll be
You know what I
good.
mean?
I have
Okay.
lots, so they
Yeah,
all.
there's a lot up there. Holy moly. I see you. Natural gang in the building. I see you, Sammy.
The vibes. You know the vibes.
I know the vibe. All right, mama. Call back in again, all right?
All right. Good night.
All right, peace. Guys, hit on the like button. I don't know how many. No, I wasn't. Guys, hit on the like button. Show me love, support, and respect. I don't know how many lives we got down up in here. Okay. I don't know how many likes we got down up in here, but show me respect. Show me some goddamn respect. Working too goddamn hard up here. Got working a goddamn morning. Shout out to Sammy. Does she follow me on IG? I'm about to go to my IG. Sammy, ping me, Sammy. Send me a DM. Okay. I'm about this accountability over here. You know what I'm saying? Next to the stage. Oh, where'd she go? She left me. She left me. Oh, wait, no, we got another one that's down up in there. What up, Mary? How are you?
Yay, hi. Thank you for having me.
Mary, tell me exactly what you disagree with. Let's get in there. Let's get active. And please hold your camera still because we got to be able to see you correctly. Okay? Thank you, mama.
I don't so much disagree. Well, I'm not a modern woman. I think I'm a godly woman.
Okay.
I'm a woke woman. I'm a woke woman, right?
Okay. I respect it.
So I think that, are they worth saving? Eve was worth saving. You know, at the end of the day, she was worth saving, and she was disobedient. We're disobedient.
AF. Oh, that's a feminine chuckle. Nice. Keep going.
So forgive us. Forgive us, you know.
Do you remember my stream from do you remember my stream from last week? I don't know. Were you in the building?
Maybe, I can't say, but I listen to you all the time. So what?
Okay, because what I was asking for last week is for an apology. I was saying that men today need an apology. Are you willing, Mary? Do you think that we need an apology?
I can give one. I can give one. Why not? Right? So, I apologize on behalf of women. I apologize for our anger, our lack of patience. We haven't had the patience. The world hasn't allowed us to have it. You guys have to understand that the world hasn't allowed us to have the patience to wait for you guys. That's what you guys got to get. So we're sorry, but at the same time, I will tell you guys this, and I can't be long because I have kids and it's no telling when they'll interrupt. So I will tell you guys this. God made the man first. He sent us to help you guys. You guys have to give us assignments. I meet too many men. Y'all don't have nothing for us to do. You guys don't have anything for us to do. Like, you guys cook for yourselves. You guys do everything. You guys don't really need us to do anything. And it sucks. So therefore, we're like acting out.
And you know what's on top of that? You know what's on top of that is that, being in a first world society, you have time to do a whole bunch of shit. It's just, if you're in a third world country, you don't got all the extra time to worry about what length of track to put in your hair, right? What's the hue of the makeup, right? I don't know what women do. I'm making this shit up as I go. The color of the nail, you know what I'm saying? You can't do all of that there. But in the first world, we all live in luxury. All of us, every single last one of us, unless you're in complete and utter abject poverty. You know what I'm saying? But listen, though, I appreciate that apology. You were the first. You were the first. We're the first. But I will tell you what. But here's the thing.
We're out there.
I believe that you guys are out there, and I want to continue to put you guys up on a pedestal because I know that those that think like you don't bang with those that I described in the beginning of the show. You don't rock with those. You don't rock with those. And
we're hurt though. I think we're defensive. We're defensive naturally, you know, and we're hurt, and we're raising you guys. We're raising sons.
Yes.
You know, and we love our Black men. We're protecting our Black men. Don't come for us. It's very don't come for us. But at the same time, you guys we do owe you an apology. We could be more patient. You guys deserve that. You guys deserve that.
Mary, I appreciate you 1,000%. Thank you for calling in, Mama. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. Take care.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Last to the stage. What up, Donna? How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing exceptionally well. I have a feeling that you're not going to disagree with me, but go ahead. What are you going to disagree with me on?
I mean, this is so weird. I've been watching you a lot lately. It's so weird. But I don't disagree with you. I do feel like women and men both have a lot to learn about each other. And I don't know. I guess for me, like, what I don't agree with is that they say women just want men who have a lot of money. And I don't agree with that at all. Like, me personally, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay, Mama. How about this? How about this? Breathe out. Go ahead.
So yeah,
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Okay. So yeah, I'm dating someone who's like an immigrant, and it's really hard because I feel like, I don't know, I don't ask a lot, you know, as a girlfriend, and I don't know, I feel like I'm different from modern dating right now, and I don't really know where to like turn to, so I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Watch me to know what men generally want, but then also you have to go down into these femininity YouTube channels to look at content of how to hold yourself as a woman. And the thing is that once you do that and you start to learn on these key things that maybe you didn't learn, you'll get better results. Off the top of my head, Sarah Lena, fantastic femininity channel. Sarah Lena, fantastic. Six the Goddess, fantastic channel that will teach you awesome things. If you got a pen and a piece of paper, or just go back later and just listen to the stream. I'll keep it up public. Okay. Feel free to go back later and to listen to some of these things. If you look at some of the teachings of Shahrazad Ali, fantastic things that she was saying. Who else? You guys put them down in the comment box. I know I'm missing a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Put them down in the comment box so that Donna and as well as some of the other ladies that's down up in here can come and reference some of the names that you guys call out. The bad ones, I'm not going to call those out right now because I don't want to give them any more advertisement than what they absolutely deserve. But I think that if you follow those, right? So I see right here, wait, hold up. Femininity can't be taught. That's absolutely incorrect. There's femininity from a biology perspective, but then there's you can learn components within that to get you closer to what that is. You can absolutely learn these different things. Femininity is the kryptonite to a masculine dude. We protect the shit out of feminine women. The shit. You can't tell us nothing. We welt under the shit. Every time I do a Shahrazad Ali video, all of the dudes in the comments is like, yo, how do I get her at 25 years old? That's like the common comment. It's because she has super feminine qualities about her, and then she loves men. And you can tell in just the way that she talks about that. So I think it's very important to put more information like that in your head and less information that has anything to do with a Cardi B. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
All right. So listen, thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate your time. I got to get out of here, though. I appreciate you for calling in, Mama. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Take care. All right, guys, I got to end the show right now. Listen, at the end of the day, we had to talk about this particular situation. We had to talk about this particular conversation. I think that we are in dire straits. And we're going to continue to bring this conversation exactly where it needs to go, so we can continue to solution. Shout out to all the callers that call in. Those are some interesting guys. Those are some interesting calls towards the middle. Holy moly. Oh, wait. I got some other super chats real quick. Let me read these out. Hold on. Let me read these super chats out real quick. Shout out to XY Tech. Good topic. First time, long time. Hashtag pardon the masculinity. Shout out for the $20 super chat. Shout out to the Patreon gang in the building. Shout out to the notification game. Shout out to those that like the video. Keep on liking the video. We got to get this in front of more people. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate it. All right, MTR, check out Feminine Fan. Oh, yeah, Feminine Fans. I forgot about her. Yes, I did a reaction off of her. Jessica X, Avery Woodley. I'm not too familiar with them. And then I think that's all that he wrote in the super chat. All right, so those are some more names. Look in the super chats. You get those names. Guys, wholeheartedly appreciate you. Patreon, link down right there. All right? You have access to so much dope shit. It's not just getting content ahead of time, but it's also getting access to the inner circle, to the inner community, where we go over conversations like this on a timely basis. We have Wealth Chat Wednesdays, all right, where we talk about building your wealth, money tips, all right? Web 2.0, digital business tips. We got resources that are coming into the Discord server. We got guest speakers coming in and talking about awesome things to try to improve your value in the world. All right. This is a community that we are building. I'd be nowhere without the community. I would be nowhere without y'all. Let's continue on having these conversations. Let's continue on uplifting the community, the society, modern men, modern women. Let's continue. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.